Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mongoli Show, or better yet, welcome back to our ratings, I should say. We are running super late today because this is my week to be working late, to be perfectly honest. Just got home from work. Surprised Brian's not live, if I'm being perfectly honest. Not sure what's going on there. Thought he would be by now, but so be it. Just got some stuff to do behind the scenes, but I figured I'd jump right in since it's already after starting time, which is not great, but here we are. Okay, so we got Twitch up and running. Let's grab this if we don't already have it. Download that. Won't touch that just yet. Jump over to our ratings. Hey, there we go. Good day, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Excellent. I've been doing stuff with computers and haven't had time to properly stress test everything since I put my computer back together. So I was worried I was going to run into some hiccups today. Seems like things are going okay, though. I'm going to hit the streaming button here now that I have things up and running.
Welcome, Miss Hillary. Thank you so much for the 20 months in a row subscription. That's incredible. You're the absolute best. Okay, let's download that. Unable to scan. Yeah, that's fine. Download this. I am not only running behind today, but also just not as prepared as I should have been, and I apologize for that. My drive.
Hey.
Where is it? Where the heck is my stuff? Hey.
I went live, and hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. My PC kind of shit the bed when I went live, so I'm just not going to stream because I don't want to sit here and try and figure out what the hell's going wrong. I'm sure it has to do with that graphics driver I just installed. I haven't put in the drivers yet or anything, so.
In fairness, yeah, you look blurry as hell, if I may.
Pretty. It looks pretty janky.
I don't know where my stuff is. View more? Sorry, I'm looking for like all the stuff on Google Drive that would be like our rating related, and I don't effing see it. Share drive, computers, my drive. That's really not okay. Oh, there's something. Weird. Is it just not ranked? Huh. Okay, well, we got it back. That's fine. Runs lagging. That's fine. He's working on it, Burns. He's working on it. He just built a PC for his kid, and it took some of the parts out of his computer, so he's trying to make everything as smooth and seamless as possible. Okay, so we've got graphics, and we'll add this one. Okay. And we'll quickly jump here, switch that, delete that, go back up here. Sorry, everybody. Again, I'm running a little behind, so we're kind of seeing a little bit of how the sausage is made, but it's fine. All right, we're going to upload that. That should work. And we'll upload that, and this might not work. Yeah, okay. So again, his actual rating is too large. So I'll have to see if I can figure out how to share the screen and do that one again, but all right, ditch that. This goes over here. Science Channel, how it's made. How are things going on your end now, Brian? Give me a wave. I mean, okay. Doesn't look terrible. You've looked worse.
Oh, you've got
He
to
meant
be
as a
kidding me.
compliment. What's up?
I did something stupid and I need to try and fix it. Sorry, hold on.
Okay. We're all here for you.
I bet. You're all here to laugh at me.
All right. If you're not here, I don't need that open. Got. Oh, I should have IMDb because I'm gonna forget somebody's name at some point. Excuse me.
See if I can't do something real quick to get this going, and get my frames up.
What do you think the issue is?
Whoa, I put in the AMD graphics card after taking out my NVIDIA graphics card and haven't gone through the list of driver updates or any of that stuff. So I'm certain it's not putting out what OBS is used to recognizing.
Gotcha. Yeah, because you'd mentioned that your computer felt like a race car, so I kind of assumed you were, you had it up and running and had done everything you were supposed to do with it and whatnot.
Okay, I'm going to shut down OBS and restart it as administrator. See if that helps.
All right, I'm going to chat with the crowd. How are you guys doing today? We are here for our rating. We are a little late getting here, and that is entirely my fault because I work late 1 week out of every 6, so I do apologize for that. Brian just built a computer for his son, took some parts out of his computer to help him do that, so that is why his computer is potentially acting the way that it is. So we're going to try and work on that behind the scenes, but then we're going to start talking about Terminator Salvation. Now, unfortunately, this is the 3rd week in a row that Will is not able to join us. However, he will be back next week. And this is our 99th episode, which means when Will does come back, we're going to be having our 100th episode. I've talked to the guys. We are actually going to have a double episode. So we might be starting late today, but next week we're going to be starting early. Actually, I haven't really talked about that. We should discuss whether it's going to be early or late. But either way, it's going to be a 2-hour mega episode. We're going to be having some games ahead of time. We're going to be testing each other's knowledge. How well do we know our co-hosts? How well do we remember the movies we watched over the last 2 years? I've got a battle royale where we're going to pit every main character in these movies, as long as they're not like super powered or like cheaty, against each other to see who comes out on top. Probably be doing some giveaways for some R-rating merch. Now we've got the Blue Lightning line out there. And then we're going to be reviewing Terminator Genesis, unfortunately. So it should be a really, really good time for the most part. All of that will start next week. I will get back to the guys and talk to you guys. I'm hoping we can start at 8 and go till 10 as opposed to starting at 9 and go till 11. But we'll have to see what they have to say about life. Later on tonight, after we're done with our ratings, stick around because Bubba Hotep and I are going to get together and we're going to do our 3rd or 4th episode of Backseat Cinema. This is just a show where we get together, talk about movies. Should be a good time. We're going to be discussing all of the different franchises that have died or gone away over the last couple of years that are coming back triumphantly or slightly less triumphantly in 2027. See if there's any one of those that we are excited for, any ones that we just do not give a crap about. That's going to be what we're discussing tonight on Backseat Cinema, so it should be a very good time. And then Saturday morning, assuming I can swing it, we're going to be doing some more Pal World here on the channel. I'm not entirely sure about that, though, because it is going to be a busy weekend with some family stuff, so I might have to spend the morning cleaning the house. We'll see. But the dream is that I'm going to be here hanging out with you guys, playing some Pal World, just kind of chilling, chillaxing, doing all the good things. Bubba Hotep says OBS was really messing me up 2 days ago. Stopped communicating with Twitch. Ooh, that's rough. If you're going late, you might want to let the other talk show people know. Well, that's why I assumed we were going to do 8 till 10, and then I realized, I haven't actually discussed the time frame. I hope it's not an issue for Brian that he can't start before 9 o'clock. But then again, Brian's normally online like 8:30 or so. So most likely he'll be around. This is Brian right here. How are we doing, sir?
That's looking a little better.
It definitely looks crisper.
Yeah, that's I don't have too much lag, I don't think. I don't know, is my voice out of sync with my mouth?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think so. Is the better answer. Not really sounds ambiguous.
You know what it is? It's the feedback on my end. It's not projecting the video as fast because you're out of sync on voice a little bit by about half a second. Is
that true for anybody else out there, or is that just Brian?
It's just me. I'm pretty sure that's enough. We can do that. I'm running at 30 frames per second right now, kind of just limping along. I turned off like everything on Essential, and I'm just not going to stream today. So that'll get us through this episode. unfortunately, I just didn't have time to go through and figure out all the details on my end of it.
Oh
But that's
no,
okay.
Gazira! That was awful. I should not have done that out loud on channel. You're welcome, Hotep. When I get canceled, we all know why. Brian's trying real hard not to smile. It's okay, buddy. You weren't the one that did it. It's not even on your channel. All right. Next week for the anniversary, I'll have to ask Will as well. But are you okay? If we do a 2-hour episode, are you okay starting earlier as opposed to going later?
Next weekend or next Thursday, starting an hour earlier than we normally do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. All right. 2/3 of us are on board. Hopefully Cleaning Edge doesn't fuck it up for us. Yeah, while you were, I was just describing what's going to happen, but I already sent that to you in a message, so should be a good time. Hopefully, I've got to get some stuff finalized on my end. Hopefully you and Will can get some stuff finalized on your end, and we'll be in pretty solid shape for this. Are you feeling like you're ready to go?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more I can do without shutting down the whole system and going through a proper setup for my GPU.
Okay. So we do have Will's introduction ready to go. Unfortunately, his actual review is again too long. So actually, maybe what we'll try and do is we'll do that right now, and then I'll put it in post after the fact. And then that way, again, we're not like doubling up on everything that he's going to say.
Okay, sounds great. I'd like to watch that.
Now, do I remember how I did that?
Yeah, that's a question, right?
Let's go with screen 1, share. Then I need to go here. It is going to be interesting to hear this.
I don't hear anything.
Damn it. So here's the thing. I bet money I know roughly where he's going to come in on this one. And I don't want it to skew what I have to say because I feel fairly confident what I have to say, but also like, yeah, it'll be interesting. It's good.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're saying about him. You know, we've done this, once or twice before, so we kind of know each other's tastes. So I have a feeling that I know where he's going to come in as well. And I feel pretty solid about my numbers and how I feel about this. So just saying, not going to be much swing value on my adjusted score.
Hopefully. Did you hear any of that?
Nope, didn't hear anything.
Fantastical. All right.
Hey, at least your audio is not duping through like it did the last time.
Fair.
Dang it, where's my Terminator list? There it is. Nope, that's No Escape. There it is. Found it. Okay.
Okay. When you don't even respond that he's talking, I'm just assuming that means you can't hear him.
Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I hear his voice.
Sounds good.
That it's an original story. They build this world even more. Listen, I
do hear him, but it sounds my audio is duplicated too. So's his.
Your audio is duplicated too. Okay. How the F did we do this? Because I've done this once where it actually worked.
Yeah. Well. You sound good. I'm good. I'm duplicated.
Local video. Oh, here we go.
Listen, I attempted to record this so many times, and I just ran on.
Nothing? I thought I had it.
He's still being, and so am I.
Okay, well, let's try. Can we hide that? Not hide it. Can we get rid of that? Let's get rid of that. Stop doing that.
On and on and make this such a long review
that sounds a lot better. And my audio doesn't duplicate either.
But you can hear it at all.
I can hear him. He's coming through a little quiet like he did last time, but I can hear him clearly. No duplication of anything.
I don't know how to fix him being quiet, unfortunately.
It's loud enough, and you can always fix that in post.
Yeah, exactly. This is only just for our benefit, I guess, and so the audience can hear what he has to say as well. He's in the Swiss Alps, of course. He's echoing. This will not make it into the final cut. Like I'm obviously going to take this video and I'll put it in the final cut. later on. But for now, if you can hear what he's saying, I'll take that as a win and call it a day.
Yeah, I think we do that.
All right, already. Here, starting off the show, we don't normally do this, is the end review from Will, and then Brian and I are going to talk about Terminator Salvation. Take it away, Will.
Listen, I've attempted to record this so many times, and I just rant on and on and on and make this such a long review that it could be its own episode. So let me just hit the pros and cons of Terminator Salvation. Love that it's an original story. They build this world even more so, seeing the future after Judgment Day. It's grim, it's destructive, it's beautiful to look at. I really enjoy that aspect of this movie. I enjoy the return to more practical effect use compared to the third movie. Stan Winston, this is his final movie. He passed shortly after. There's a big in memory of in this movie for him. I think this movie will stand up against the test of time, more so because of it. Some great practical effects, great actual robots in this movie. Speaking of robots, love that we get to see some of the different iterations of man-killing robots in this movie. We got the eel, we got the rubber 600 that's mentioned in the first movie. We get the motorcycles, the harvester. I enjoyed that variety. It really helped flesh out this universe. No pun intended. I think that's it for positives. Let's get to the negatives. Action, I felt, was only okay. It didn't really wow me in any way. It kind of just felt one note. Characters, same thing, very one-dimensional. I mean, John Connor maybe was slightly better than in the third iteration, but he was just an angry, tunnel vision minded idiot. Like, he was just not an idiot, he was an a-hole. You know, he didn't trust robots, he didn't trust people, he didn't trust anybody. He was going to do whatever he wanted. It didn't matter. He was breaking all the rules and nobody could stop him. Nobody wanted to stop him. It was just, he's an unlikable character, so I can't invest into that. Don't come at me, Christian Bale, you angry SOB. On top of that, Sam Worthington, I felt was even worse because his character is kind of not even necessary. They do this weird, interesting play of, oh, what if we have an actual cyborg who is half man and half robot because he's built from a man? It just didn't work for me, and it was all part of this major issue. The most horrible part of this whole movie was the ruining of Skynet. It made Skynet into this, like, seemingly bumbling, convoluted planning. They don't know what they're doing or how. It's got so many layers of getting this cyborg to bring John Connor here because they got to Kyle Reese. It was just like so many random things had to happen in order for this plan to work, when all they needed to do was dial up John Connor, on the phone and be like, dude, we got your dad, come and get us. We're at 109 Gotcha Avenue. And there you go. John Connor is there and you can just kill him. But no, instead we have this Sam Worthington, who I don't think, he's one-dimensional. His character's one-dimensional, so maybe it's a perfect pairing, but didn't like it whatsoever. Didn't like his arc. Didn't feel like he redeemed himself. Didn't understand why he had to redeem himself, because didn't even get enough information on him to know why he murdered his family or any of it. It was just nonsense. The whole character is nonsense. It didn't add anything to this movie for me, and actually made me hate Skynet more because of it. And that is the biggest qualm against this movie that I have. I can't stand for Skynet, supposedly this cold, calculated, killing AI program that will just stop at nothing to eradicate all human life on Earth. And instead we got this. And it was brutal. The writing in general in this movie I thought was pretty bad. And that brings me to the end of the movie. It was bad. Surprise to no one. I thought it was bad. Sam's character's like, oh, I'll give him my heart. You know, it was only crushed by a Terminator and brought back to life by a random electricity voltage, and I'm sure it'll do John Connor proud and he'll live a long and prosperous life. And it was just terrible. They're in the middle of the desert. A veterinarian does this heart transplant, no problem. It's just like, stop. But what could they do? Apparently the original ending was leaked online before the movie was finished, and people were in uproar about that. For those of you who don't know, apparently, you know, Sam's character does all the things he does, saves John at the end, except for John's dying on the table and actually dies. So his veterinarian wife's like, well, I mean, Sam, you got a pretty good body on you. So she does face-off transplant, just like in the 90s movie, throws it on Sam's body, and then we got a new John Connor. But he's crazy, remember? So he kills everybody, and the robots win. Which one's better? Which one's worse? You tell me. I don't know. At the end of the day, I can't not give this movie a slight better score than Terminator 3, just for the fact that it came in with an original story and at least gave us an expansion of this world that we've already loved and enjoyed, but didn't get a full picture of this portion of the story just yet. So that was great. 58 out of 100. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to being back in the studio with Dan and Brian discussing these movies live with you. And guess what? The vacation is over. Next week, I'll be back.
Shut up! Shut up!
Okay, I get
Shut
it.
up!
I get it. No more impersonations.
Oh God!
I'm so sad we don't get our actual reactions to that because that was gold.
Oh man, God bless him. I love that.
He always goes above and beyond. Oh, we need him back. Oh man,
58, 58, huh?
yeah, that's pretty much what I expected.
You know what's weird?
Not like the number necessarily, but like pretty much all his thoughts.
The score is exactly what I expected, but his take on the different things was kind of the reverse of what I expected, actually. I mean, we all hated the dialogue, but yeah, I'm just kind of surprised with that.
Yeah. All right, shall we start this thing off?
Let's do it.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. Why is he still there? Go away. Remove source. Okay, so from Will to Will.
Set somewhere between the future and the past, we find the last remaining people surviving Judgment Day find it necessary to always introduce themselves with their full legal names. Also, Skynet ensures they build all of their weapons of destruction with power switches. Here we find John Connor has become a gruff radio host prophet who rallies the troops against the war on the machines. Oh man, I don't know how Christian Bale did that for 2 hours.
I want you off the fucking set, you prick!
Oh, Christian Bale, I'm so sorry.
No, don't just be sorry. Think for 1 fucking second. The are you doing?
I just thought
Are
it
you
was-
professional or not?
No, I'm certainly an amateur compared to you. I was just doing a gag. I thought it would be
Oh,
funny.
good for you. And how was it? I hope it was fucking good because it's useless now, isn't it?
Maybe we should just start the show.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I'm really glad that was muted halfway through because I would have killed all of that with laughing.
Oh, I was laughing right over it. Yeah, I saw that you'd muted my microphone, so I just went ahead and laughed. Oh my God, that was great.
Oh, well, the video automatically mutes both of our mics when it's playing,
Yeah.
which is brilliant. But like, fuck me, man.
I was not expecting that one.
'Cause, like,
Well,
So it started off, and like instantly, I can see it's 1 minute and 7 seconds. I'm like, wow, some of these are like 4 seconds, right? Like
Right.
halftime is just like John McClane's back. I'm like, oh, that's it, we're done. Okay, fair enough. So moving on. We're like, 1:07. That's really long. No, that was gold. That was gold. Oh man. Okay, so now that
Wow.
we've got all the talent out of the way, why don't you and I talk for like an hour?
yeah, let's do that. Do you want to start out with
No.
the good or with the bad, Dan?
I want to start out with the intro, as per fucking ever. This is episode 99. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our rating, the show where I get together with two of my friends. We take a movie franchise, break it down by movie, give it an individual score, throw it back up, and see where it lands compared to the other movie franchises. This week, again, we are Will-less, so it is just me and Brian. Brian, how are you this week?
I'm good, Dan. I'm cracking up over Will's intro there. I miss him. I can't wait till he comes back.
Yeah, Will's been away for the last couple of weeks, and we do miss him greatly. And we just watched his review, which we'll get at the end of the episode, and the intro, which you guys just saw, and we've been just killing ourselves laughing. He really brought his A game this week, which is kind of surprising. They did that for Terminator Salvation of all things. Brian, as always, I gotta ask, is this your first time seeing this movie?
No, this is my second time seeing the film. However, this is my first time watching the director's cut, which has like 5 to 8 minutes of extra footage in it.
Was it that much?
I don't remember. Somebody told me. I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay.
It sure didn't feel like a whole lot more. There was really only one scene that I noticed that
stood out.
that stood out. Yeah. The rest of it was pretty. I couldn't even tell you what the new footage was aside from the one scene.
Fair enough. I'm the exact same. I've seen this one time, and then it was this time around seeing the director's cut for the very first time. This is one where I was kind of really dreading. I had fond memories of Terminator 3 because I saw it in theaters for the first time, watched it with some friends, hadn't seen it in 20-something years, and kind of was really disappointed with that one. The opposite for this one. I went into this one expecting nothing from it, remembering very little about it. The only things I can tell you about this is that there's a very Uncanny Valley Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and Christian Bale yelled at a stagehand. That's literally all I could have told you about the plot for this one.
That's kind of what I remembered as well.
And came out actually enjoying this one more than I thought, at least. We'll see how much I enjoyed it by the end of the episode, but this was not a hard watch for me at all.
No, this was easy to watch. I stayed entertained throughout of it, but I will say right off the bat, I went, wow, this dialogue is so atrocious. And because I was able to immediately identify that, I let go of it and just enjoyed the whole rest of the film.
That's fair. Yeah, there's a pretty, I was surprised with the caliber of actors in this. A lot of named characters, a lot of people you'll recognize, but yeah, none of them were really given a whole lot to say or do per se, which was kind of unfortunate because you got Helena Bonham Carter, Christian Bale, Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, kind of Terry Crews, but not really. What's his name? The rapper, Common. There's quite a few people in this. Even Moon Bloodgood, which is just the best name ever. All of them are decent enough actors. Michael Ironside, even the list on this one is way better than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
None of them stand out in any way, shape, or form. In fact, some of them kind of stand out as this might be one of their worst performances, even from an actor or actress that I really like.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Bryce Dallas Howard, but in this role, she just had either nothing to do or just did not want to be there or something, but she just didn't show up, and it was really unfortunate.
I would say that a lot of it felt to me, and I have no idea, this would be something Will would normally fill us in on. I would say that a lot of them had a script that they were forced to stick to, and it didn't allow them much room to negotiate. Those lines felt really forced for a lot of them. I feel like if they were allowed a little latitude in their roles, they could have adjusted some things.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like they were allowed any latitude at all. Maybe that's why Christian Bale was so upset over this film, is because he wasn't allowed to do anything that he wanted to do, and then he had stagehands screwing up what he was supposed to do. But
it could be.
That's a behind discussion. I just don't know. But I don't want to just immediately blame all the actors and actresses for what the final product was, because it really felt like a terrible, terrible script. And what little chemistry there was not allowed to be portrayed with the words that they spoke.
Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily blaming the actors or actresses in every case, at least.
They certainly didn't fix any of it.
Right, even when you're given a scene, as you mentioned, like forced is the right word. Like there are some scenes, like the one where Michael Ironside, I think, has a gun to Christian Bale's head. I think everybody in the watch party just kind of rolled their eyes, like, what is happening right
That
now?
was
Like this
so
is
weird.
awful.
Yeah.
And he's like, shoot it, come on, shoot me then. And you're like, what are we doing here? It's just anyway,
What
I
are
don't
they
want to
even
harp on
getting
that.
so excited in that scene for? I just don't even understand it. And then like not 60 seconds later, they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, your team's in charge, then let's go.
Yeah. He's still one of their best soldiers, despite the fact that he doesn't seem to listen to anybody. Yeah, no, the plot, the acting / characters bothered me a little bit, but not a ton. There were some plot things in this that were just kind of weird to me, though, that I do want to touch on at least briefly, if not longer. And
what
maybe
plot things bothered you?
honestly, maybe you can even answer these for me and like tell me why some of these things happened. In 2018, when this movie takes place, it is 11 years before the future that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Kyle Reese come back from, right? So we got 11 years to get to that point. How on earth does Skynet know anything about Kyle Reese? Like, why is Skynet after him? Because he dies in 1982. They purposefully say records from that time are incredibly bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe because he got arrested, but if they don't know anything about Sarah Connor, I don't know how they could know who Kyle Reese is and that he's important to the future and that he came back from the future. Like just that plot line alone was just like, why? I get the robots want to kill John Connor. I get the robots want to kill. Well, actually, even for that matter, why do the robots know John Connor?
Okay, and I'll even double down on it. At the end, we realize that Sam Worthington's character, Marcus Wright, is actually a plant by Skynet. And there's so many things that are wrong with this. I'm trying to stick with my original thought and not just go on a huge derailed rant here.
Oh, we're going to talk about Sam Worthington. Don't you worry.
How does Skynet know where this Marcus Wright is gonna go find Kyle Reese? Like, he actually pops up out of the ground again because John Connor accidentally woke him up by blowing up that facility, right?
Yeah.
That's where Sam Worthington comes out. So it was a coincidence that Sam Worthington even got woken up. And then just coincidence apparently happens to go straight to LA, and like the first person he contacts is Kyle Reese. And this is all supposed to happen, but how, like you said, how do they know Kyle Reese is important? How does Skynet know where Kyle Reese is? How do they get Marcus Wright to wake up at the right time and go in the right direction? There was nothing pointing him that way. It just doesn't make sense to me.
All of those points, except for the one, I don't know that it was an accident that he woke up, because yes, he is in that facility that Christian Bale goes to, but so are a lot of human hostages. So the robots must have still been in that area somewhat recently to have captured those people and take them in. Do they explain why they're capturing people?
No, not really. They mentioned something about trying to make better Terminators, so maybe that's their R&D department, and they're using them like lab rats. That's just kind of what I figured. It's not very well explained. I believe Christian Bale walks by Sam Worthington laying on a gurney, kind of in a dark scene, and you see it at a glance. And then later, Marcus Wright is woken up. I don't really understand why. Maybe that's Skynet. Maybe he has this like really subtle programming going on, and Skynet does know where Kyle Reese is, and that's why he wakes up at that time and heads right to where Kyle Reese is. I'm not really sure. But then, like you said, if they know where Kyle Reese is, why not go capture him and then phone John Connor and say, hey, we've got your dad?
I wish I had an answer for any of that.
I know, it just, none of that stuff makes sense.
None of this is explained, but like maybe there are multiple Marcuses out in the world. And when John Connor comes close to him, they're like, oh, that's going to be the one that's going to get close to him because they're already in close proximity. So they wake him up on that purpose. But maybe there's like a Marcus in China and a Marcus in Japan and a Marcus in Canada. I don't know. They don't explain that in any way, shape, or form. That is me reaching really, really hard for this.
Yeah.
The thing with Marcus is kind of like I said when we watched the original Predator, I wish they didn't show the alien ship coming to Earth, because then you know that there's going to be an alien in the movie. Now, obviously, 30, 40 years later, you know what the Predator franchise is. But if you were watching it for the first time in 1987, it'd be really cool if they play up the mystery of what's happening until you see the monster. I wish they didn't have that opening scene that really doesn't add anything to this movie, where Marcus is, on death's row and gives himself to Skynet, and get rid of all of that and just have a stranger walking in the desert who doesn't know what he is. And over time you realize wow, that guy took a really solid punch to the face. That's interesting. And then you kind of get to yourself oh crap. Cause instantly that he's going to be a planter cell. So there's no mystery with that at all. The rest of the movie, you were just waiting for him to reveal whatever his master plan is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have worked significantly better if it was just oh, there's a random guy out there. He doesn't understand. Maybe he got hit on the head and forgot. I don't know. That was the thing that bothered me.
And for the abysmal backstory that we got on Marcus Wright, why include that opening footage in the first place? It was just lame. It was lame.
Exactly. I will go with something. Well, I guess I was going to say I'll go with something Will just said, but Will hasn't said it yet. That's future Will. So I'll cut that all out. One of the things I will say is Helena Bonham Carter, as interesting as an actress as she is, and she takes big swings, this didn't feel like the right movie for her. And
Agreed.
I didn't need a face for Skynet.
Agreed. 100%. 100% on board with that.
I would have cut that first scene that she's in, because F that entire scene. Let's just have him appear in the desert and we don't know anything about him. And I would have gotten rid of the cybernetic organism in a monitor screen telling the whole plot of what's going on. I'm pretty sure we're mostly on board with what's going on at that point. I don't know that we needed it explained to us. We certainly didn't need a human face for Skynet.
Yep.
What's the point of that? Why does Skynet have touch screens? What robot is interfacing with it? Like these weird things where you're just why? Why would you do that? Why would you give the humans an opportunity to tune you down when all of the robots can connect with Bluetooth or whatever the heck they're using? It's just these weird little things where I'm you didn't think about this very hard at all.
I could maybe understand the sterile environment looking facility, because they are now evolving Terminators with human flesh over them. So maybe instead of just the warehouse scene where you see the robots being assembled, you have the new facility that Schwarzenegger walks out of when, the CGI Schwarzenegger walks into.
Yeah.
I could maybe understand that. Again, you still don't need the touch screens and stuff. There are no scientists or human scientists, unless there's some backstory there where they're actually enslaving humans to do some work in there, maybe, but we don't see that. That's just me guessing. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I do like about this movie. It is taking if I remember correctly, I have to guess at this one a little bit, but it does not seem like a big leap, where we have the Marcus robot that is half man, half robot, and he acts like a person and is easily able to infiltrate and talk to humans and fool them into thinking he's human. In fact, he got Moon Bloodgood to fall in love with him to the point that she turns against the human race just for the sake of this cyborg. So clearly that technology works. Why would you need Arnold Schwarzenegger? Except he's too human and he won't turn against his own people and they can't control him. So it does make sense for them to go back to a full robot that they can control and do everything they needed to do, even though he's incredibly uncharismatic. That did work for me.
Okay. And there's a couple of things. When Schwarzenegger steps out, he is their top of the line model, and he's like the first one that they've seen so far. They find the data that talks about, what is it, the T800 model? Is that what Schwarzenegger is, T800? I don't remember.
800 or 600?
Something.
No, I think 800. I think 800.
In the beginning, they find the information that says, hey, this is the new model that's coming out. It's not going to look like these ugly things, which were really cool, by the way. I love the previous versions. But he's supposed to be the newest, greatest thing, and it just happens at the very end of the movie. Meanwhile, you've got Marcus Wright, who's, in my opinion, way more advanced than Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Schwarzenegger's just the chassis with skin over it. Sam Worthington is a cybernetic organism who thinks he's human, has a human brain and human heart and stuff. So I'm just kind of like, and also he started like way back in the past, like in the 80s or something, right?
Well, no, like 2000 and like right before Judgment Day. I got the impression. I don't remember
was it right before Judgment Day? I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the time frame on that. It looked like a 1980s prison or something. I don't know. It looked almost like Shawshank when they were filming that. Again, let's cut that whole scene out and improve the movie. So I just felt like, how come they have this like super advanced one that they've been working on since before the bombs dropped, and then Schwarzenegger pops out as top of the line afterwards? It just didn't jive with me that they had all these clankers in between the two. Like the timeline doesn't match up. So lots and lots of plot holes just coming out everywhere. However,
That's fair.
did those plot holes stop you from having fun watching the film?
They really didn't. I think aesthetically, this movie hit in a way that the past three just haven't. Like I said a lot at the end of last week, I really want just this franchise to continue. Instead of just keep sending robots back into the past, like let's go to the future. Let's see this post-apocalypse. And that's exactly what they gave me. Kind of like Transformers meets Mad Max. And I was in for the scenery. I was in for the robots. When we had the giant robot that shot motorcycles, like the dumbest shit you can think of. And I'm 100% in. I was like, this is really, really cool.
Its kneecaps pop open and motorcycle robots drive out. And I'm just like, whoa!
Right? Like I'm in. Like that was so freaking cool. Even though it was dumb, but whatever. But it was just one of those things where like, this is amazing. And like, why does this movie from 2009 look so much better than shit we're getting in 2026?
Yeah,
like,
it looked fantastic.
It looked
robots
so good.
building into the airships. Everything in this looked great, and a lot of people criticize the Uncanny Valley Schwarzenegger at the end, and I thought it was good enough. They don't show his face for very long. They come up with a clever way to blow his face off so that he's just this, scary looking robot coming after him. And that was fine for me. It was like, okay, cool. The thing that I did like about that scene, and this is why I thought they had to have it a Schwarzenegger Terminator version, is that we heard in the last one that there's going to be a Schwarzenegger robot sent to kill John Connor. And so I was wondering, is this the one that kills him? And, he stabs him in the chest with that steel pipe. And I was like, oh, he stumbles a bit in the beginning because he sees Schwarzenegger, and that gave the robot an opening to start kicking his ass. Maybe that's what they were talking about. But then when they blew up his face and burnt all his skin off right away, I was like, okay, maybe this is probably not the one that goes back in number 3. Yeah. But either way, it made me stop and wonder, and I think that was kind of the catch to it. They also just wanted to have a Schwarzenegger appearance in the film, and I was okay with it. With it.
I will say, when I watched this in probably it came out in 2009. I probably watched it in 2010 because I did not see this one in theaters. I remember thinking like, oh, this looks so dumb. Why would they do that? Maybe we were spoiled back then. I don't know. Watching this now, I was like, that actually looks pretty good. And usually graphics get worse, not better. So watching this in 2026, be like, that looks okay. Like, I don't have a problem with that. You're right. It's super fast. It's just enough to like give you a hint of what's going on. But it was still like, I'm on board. Like, that didn't take me out of the movie by that much.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as the points you're trying to make about Arnold Schwarzenegger, they mention that if they killed him now, it'd be 11 years before he sends Kyle Reese back. So that wouldn't have made sense. So I'm really glad that that's not the route they were going. But they also say that they sent the robot back to kill him because of his emotional connection with the robot. So if they kill him before 2029, he won't be able to send the robot back to give himself that emotional connection. So the robot, like, it's just.
Yeah, by number 4, we need diagrams to cover all these little loops in the plot and everything, and it's going to start looking like a ball of yarn here. I just, like, all that, makes sense after the fact, but when he first comes out the door and you see Schwarzenegger, I had a brief moment of, is this the one who was supposed to kill him from number 3 and then get sent back in time or whatever? Yeah. But it wasn't. So apparently there's going to be another Schwarzenegger robot that kills him. And I hope that next time they actually do what they did in Indiana Jones and de-age Schwarzenegger and then just don't let him talk like they did in Indiana Jones, right? Because the voice was the problem with Indy in that one. But he looked amazing in that one. So if they could de-age Schwarzenegger for another film, if they had to, that's fine. I'm okay with just never bringing Schwarzenegger back.
I think it was a wrong move. Like, I get why they put Schwarzenegger in this movie, the de-age Schwarzenegger. I think it doesn't make any sense. Not from a plot perspective. I guess it is from a plot perspective. If you're taking it seriously, because if you're going to have one robot look like Arnold Schwarzenegger 11 years before they send him back to the past, it's really weird that they wouldn't have been able to upgrade the T-800 in 11 years. Like, think about an 11-year-old cell phone today and how outdated and useless that thing would be right now.
It's like a Nokia, man.
It doesn't make sense that they would be using that model as the one to go back and save the war. They would be using something newer. But also, if they're like, oh, well, this is the T-500 and we're going to get to the T-800, why would you make them all look the same if the point is for them to infiltrate? Because as soon as you were a person on the ground, you're like, oh, there's Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's clearly a robot. Like, you'd have to make them all look different. And even in Terminator 1, we see them look different because a different T-800 enters the base and starts killing people where Reese is. That was great. But why do we keep bringing Arnold back? Like, I love Arnold, don't get me wrong, but from a lore perspective, it makes way more sense to have completely different robots instead of just bringing Arnold back.
They're just trying to make money off of people going, 100%. Schwarzenegger's coming back, but hardcore fans don't need Schwarzenegger to come back. They need great plot. That's what we want. You know, we want better plot, better storytelling. We want better connection.
I love that you said, I think we need better connection as your computer crapped out and you call it lost connection with you. That's shockingly funny to me.
Hey, Frozen over there.
No, you're back now. Were you going to say we need better connection? Was that the sentence you were using?
Yeah, we need better connections between those characters. And so, you know, when Wright and Williams fall in love in less than 24 hours, it was just ridiculous. I will say Moon Bloodgood is an absolute smoke show in this film, and the director's cut, she gets topless. I'm just letting you know that's the added footage that really just came through. We were blowing up the chat in that scene. I just think she's a gorgeous specimen, and I thought that she actually was a great character too. I didn't see her immediately swooning over Wright. That didn't make any sense. It felt terrible. So I would have liked another 6 weeks for those characters to get to know each other and develop.
That was a little too much. Like, the second she lands, she's flirting with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, she lands with her parachute in the tree and she's like, hey, big boy, want to come help me? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? And it doesn't get better. Like, she is throwing herself at him.
Absolutely.
The entire time. And then she's like, oh, you're a robot? All right. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, we're just accepting it and moving on.
I've watched robots kill loved ones for years now, but yeah, I'm going to totally just let you loose and let's run off into the sunset together. That was dumb. Didn't make sense at all.
No, I didn't care for that at all. And it would have been more interesting if she'd been betrayed by it and then had to like have that conversation of like, what's human? What are you? Like all this stuff. Like that would have been more interesting than she just blindly like, nope, we're love. I'm good with this. Like I'm taking it. It was a weird choice for her, but I didn't dislike her in this movie. Definitely enjoyed the director's cut. Anton Yelchin is a actor that I'm gonna sadly say that I completely forgot about, but I remembered how much I enjoyed him in the mid 2000s when he had Star Trek and this and a couple other things. I thought he was actually pretty good. He did a decent enough job being a young Kyle Reese.
Yeah, I didn't mind him at all.
And I actually thought it was really fun that like Sam Worthington's character Marcus showed him like have a strap on your gun so it doesn't get taken away from you, which we see Kyle Reese do in Terminator 1. We actually have like a little bit of that where it's like they didn't do a ton. It wasn't like, Solo where they had to show every little part of his character. Just like a little nod to be like, hey, if you've seen these in close succession, you're going to recognize this. Yeah. Same thing with, Come With Me If You Want to Live, which, is a little played out. It's been in 3 of the 4 movies at this point, but it's like, I'll be back. Like you have to expect it's going to be in there at some point in these films. But I liked the playing around with the two of them. And I thought he actually kind of looked enough like a young Michael Biehn that I was going for it.
And you know what? I would say that Kyle Reese in this film, Anton Yelchin, I thought he did probably one of the better jobs of acting in the film. I believed his character. He didn't ever take me out of it. And he was a fun character. And yeah, he did a good enough job being a young Kyle Reese that I was okay with everything. Again, not stellar performance or anything like that, but he was the least worst for sure.
I think he was a bit better than that. I will agree he wasn't stellar, but I mean, with what they had to work with, nobody could have been. Now his co-host, Jada Grace, who played Star, the little mute girl.
Yeah.
Did she play any role in this at all?
What was her point being in this other than being a cute kid?
it felt like they were trying to make her Newt, but without any of the, heart or storyline or interestingness of Newt. Like she was just there for the whole time. And you're just like, all right, you're gonna say something at the end and just be like this revelation, like, oh wow, she can talk. No, nothing. Just literal nothing. Not that would have been a good revelation, get me wrong, but literally nothing.
Yeah. It was she was almost like a distraction from things. It was like just a cute thing to look at, something to worry about a little bit, maybe. But I didn't even see a point for her character to exist. And another character that made a cameo appearance in this movie that I was just like, why did we not get more of Terry Crews? We literally see him dead, and that's it. And we're watching the extended footage.
Well, apparently he did have a bigger role, and we see him as whatever his role is. I forget the character's name, and he does die.
Captain Jericho.
Sure. But of course that gets cut, and so he just has this corpse thing. And even the watch party was like, is that Terry Crews? You're like, yep. I'm like,
yeah, you see him on the
that's
ground.
Weird. Like, is his career that hurting in 2009? And he's just like, playing an extra. But okay, sure.
I freaking love Terry Crews. He's one of those guys that if I had the opportunity to just go hang out with for a day, I would do whatever it takes. Like, he just seems like a fun guy. And to just see the glimpse of him just laying on the ground, and I'm like, wait, he's in this, but he's just dead on the ground. We don't get anything. I was so heartbroken.
Give me a flashback scene of what happened or something. Anything, really. But...
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just was he Barnes's brother? Was that who... Yeah. Who he's talking about?
Yeah, it was the emotional attachment, so that Barnes really hated the robots, which, everybody's lost somebody to the robots at this point.
Yeah.
Like, the war's been going on for 20 years or whatever it is. Like, nobody's gotten away scot-free. I'm going to say it. I'm really disappointed that, like, this is supposed to be the start of a future war trilogy. I'm really disappointed we didn't get the other two halves of this movie, because I enjoyed it well enough that I would definitely have watched those, at least on the second viewing. Maybe not on the first one in 2009. I might have been a little spoiled back then. But in 2026, I thought this was actually pretty fun. And to know that we go from this to Genesis, which, again, I've only seen one time, maybe it'll surprise me. Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to next week. We're just right back to, like, running around in the early 2000s with a robot chasing us, and hopefully we live. Like, it just feels like this was actually a step forward for the franchise for the first time since 1. And we're just like, nah, that didn't work. Let's go back to making 1 again. It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I did like the original story, the world building going on. The look of this film was fantastic from start to finish, that dystopian future. I mean, not the intro scene, because that wasn't the dystopian future, but everything else just looked amazing. I loved that all of the older robots pre-Schwarzenegger had like a dark chassis to them. You had a huge variety of variants of these robots that came in motorcycles, giant robots, flying robots. You had all kinds of stuff. You had the Hydro robot, which was really cool. The screeching robotic eels in this film. So lots of fun stuff, lots of fun sequences, lots of great action sequences. And it was really rapid paced, which is, I think, the only reason I give such a big pass on the dialogue is because they just got me to the next fun action sequence as fast as they could. And I was here for it.
Sorry, did you just make a Princess Bride reference in our Terminator Salvation?
I absolutely did.
Well done, sir. If I could pat you on the back from however far away we are right now, I would. That was well done. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's not perfect. It's got plot holes. It's got logic holes. It's got some pretty rough scenes, some pretty rough acting. But unlike Will, I actually think that the action was pretty fun. I think the graphics were pretty incredible. And I just did have a pretty solid time beginning to end with this one. Now, admittedly, this is a movie I watched in the watch party, which, other than Patreon picks, I don't often get to do. So that might have really helped as opposed to watching this by myself. But
lots of fun in there.
But regardless, I just had a good time. And that's all I'm looking for out of a Terminator movie. Like, I'm not looking for, massive revelations of what it means to be human. I just kind of want to see shit blow up. And, like, they blew up a lot of shit. Although, ironically, the one time, like, the biggest explosion in the movie, I think, was one of the more, like, wait, what? Like, when they're hunting Marcus down and they just do this like napalm line for like half a mile. And you're just like, you just had him in your sights. Like you were shooting him with a chain gun from a helicopter. You're like, hold my gun. I'm going to go do something else. You're like, you've got him. You got him there.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And I still miss him. Yeah. I mean, we did have one explosion that was bigger than that. We got to see the det cord being used throughout the film. And then at the end, they wrapped the det cord around the battery system, which we saw from number 3. So a little throwback to that. And then that creates that huge nuclear explosion, which the helicopter somehow managed to escape from. Because I swear to God, they were right above that thing.
They were right above it.
And then in the next scene, they're like half a mile out, and the EMP shockwave from this nuclear explosion didn't bother them at all. Whatever. It looked cool. It was fun.
Helicopters are faster than shockwaves, Brian.
That's it. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Yeah.
I gotta say, like this future, granted, the future we've seen in the past is 2029 plus, so it's like 11 years worse. I'm shocked they're taking helicopters anywhere if they're fighting these robots.
Like, what were were those like B-19 Hornets or something that they were flying around? Those, I don't know. They had
I have no idea.
Some jets that they were flying around.
And
Williams was a jet pilot, which is super sexy to begin with, right? Like jet pilots and motorcycles. That's where I want to see women. I think that's hot. And they did that for me. So like, yeah, right off takes the helmet off, does the hair flip thing. And I was like, I'm in.
I like this movie. Because it's one of those things where like helicopters even make some sense because this can take off and land from anywhere. Airplanes are one of the first things humanity loses because
they're gonna detonate the landing strip, right?
Landing strips are super easy to see from space. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna see those and just be like, nope, gone.
And this wasn't like, what do they call that? VTOL. It wasn't VTOL, right? It couldn't do vertical takeoff and landing. No. It didn't have that. This was gonna need a runway. And do they have a hidden runway on like a submersible or I don't know.
Not only you need a runway, you're also gonna need a lot of fuel. And they were burning through fuel like nothing in this film. And I'm just like, where are you getting that from, bud? Where's that all coming from? Because okay, sure, why not?
Yeah, and one thing that I wish they would have touched on in some way somehow. Where's the nuclear fallout from the bombs dropping at the end of 3? They don't even mention it. We had a lot of theories bouncing around in the chat while we were watching it, but nothing really felt adequate to me. I needed something more in this film to explain that little piece.
Now, one of the guys in the chat did mention something interesting the other day. I believe it was Bubba Hotep. I don't know anything about this. So I'm going to pick your brain, see what you know. The nuclear bombs would somewhat work like an EMP, would they not? And if they did, would that not wreck a lot of the robots that are, supposed to take over the world?
Yes. In fact, there are lots of military scenarios where they detonate nuclear bombs up in the atmosphere rather than on the surface because you can get that EMP wave to go over a much wider area, knocking out electronics and then later raining, a nuclear fallout down on things. So it could be much more destructive in that sense. So yeah, Skynet maybe picking and choosing where it bombs so that it doesn't damage too many of its facilities. Obviously, it's got to have some robotic capability after it detonates everything so it can continue making pieces of itself and other robots to do its dirty work.
Yeah. All right, that's all. I just wanted to touch on that. I think I'm pretty much good to go on this one.
Yeah. I think we covered all of it. So go ahead and do your Patreon thing, and then we can jump into my rating.
You remembered.
Hey, 99, right? 99.
99 cents in, we got there.
100, I'll be just crystal clear, smooth. It'll be great.
I will remind you of that next week, sir. If you like what we do and you want to help support us, consider joining our Patreon. There's a link down below. Shout out to our producers, as well as our executive producer, Dino, and a huge thank you to our writers, Mrs. Hillary and Real Bubba Hotep. Thank you all very much. Viva la Skynet. Where runs $1 Million Skyboard? 101, Dan changes it up just to fuck with Brian.
Probably.
We're going to do Patreon first now.
Yeah, really. I don't have a lot more to say about this. We really thoroughly covered everything, and talking about it really didn't adjust my score any from what I felt going into this. I give this 67. It's a very watchable, fun film with great action sequences, terrible acting, even worse dialogue. A lot of plot holes, but we're 4 movies deep into time travel. Luckily, this one basically had a reverse time travel where Wright went forward in time and then woke up, right? What do they call it? Rumpelstiltskin or something? Who was the guy that fell asleep and woke up in the future? So that was an interesting little spin on the time travel. But all in all, I think that if you're a fan of the franchise, this is definitely one that you don't skip. And probably you'll enjoy it, I think. I mean, just science fiction enthusiasts in general, there's a lot to enjoy in this, just watching those robots and the explosions that go along with it. So fun film for me, super high fun factor. Lots of problems with this film, definitely not perfect by any means.
Sorry. Just the chat. All right, well done. I'm going to mirror a lot of what Brian just said. I actually had way more fun watching this one than I thought I was going to have. This is very... Okay, sorry. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I was really desynced for a second. I'm going to mirror a lot of what Brian has to say about this one. I had a lot of fun with this one, way more than I actually anticipated I was. Is it a perfect film? Absolutely not. There's plot holes, there's logic holes, there's a lot of issues with this one. But it was a fun movie about giant robots and people fighting with explosions and gun. Like, this is the kind of action movie where you literally can just turn your brain off and just enjoy it. And I did. I just had a really solid time watching this for like 2 hours, much more so than 3. And honestly, as much as 2 is a much better made film, I think I had more fun watching this one than I did watching 2. Admittedly, I've seen 2 many, many, many times. This is only my second time watching this one, but I kind of surprised myself with that one. Now, that being said, it's not getting a crazy high score. It is still, it's got plot holes and issues with it. But for me, for this one, I'm going to give it a 70. I was actually surprised with how much I enjoyed it.
And it's Rip Van Winkle, by the way, falls asleep and wakes up way in the future. As Skinny Matthew points out, we all fall asleep and wake up in the future.
I thought that was actually a pretty good point from Skinny Matthew. I'm not going to lie. I read that. I was like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, literally everybody.
And if you want to criticize everything I say, then join us live on Twitch at either my stream when it's working or Dan's stream. And you can see these before Dan edits them down.
Yeah. All right. Will's, it's already been done. We've already heard it. And honestly, it's pretty long. So let's just skip to the score.
Did you want to record you saying, and here's Will's clip?
No, because I never do that.
Oh, okay.
Like I always just go from Patreon to you to me to him, right? Like there's never
okay.
And here's Will, and then he just does his thing, right? Mm-hmm. That being said, I'm like, let's just cut to the numbers. I'm like, oh right, I need to actually make the graphic of that. Never mind. Give me a second.
God, I gotta remember to lock my chair so I stop rocking on camera.
For what it's worth, I haven't really noticed or it's not been distracting.
Oh, I try to keep it to a minimum, but you know me, I fidget, and I don't have my fidget spinner here today. Dude, this has been hard watching us. I have about 5 frames per second on my screen. I see over on Twitch, you're getting a pretty good, clear picture of me, but man, I can't wait to go tune out my my graphics card to get this working right again.
It really hasn't been an issue on my end, at least. So I'm hoping the recording will be completely fine. Other than that 1 second when I started talking for my review, I just out of the corner of my eye, it really looked like it was pretty bad. But shy of that, it seems like it's been okay. Okay, that was easy, and now we can just download it and go from there. All right. And with that, we see Terminator drop, but only a little bit, Down below, 28 years later, joining Predator at 74. It's got a 75 from me, a 76 from Brian, a 71 from Will, for a grand total of 74, tying with Predator, just a little bit above Aliens. This is exactly where you predicted this franchise would land, kind of right in that like 80s sci-fi area with these other two. Do you think, knowing that it's already here and we've only got 2 movies left to go, do you think it's going to continue to drop or pretty much level out and stay in
I
this
think we're going to
general
see
area?
it in the Bill Paxton trifecta right there somewhere. It may drop below Predator, probably even below Aliens, but I don't think it's going to go that much further. I'll tell you, I wasn't a huge fan of Genesis. I don't remember it, though, so I'm very curious. But I did like Dark Fate and have seen that a couple of times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So maybe that will balance out and it'll kind of stay where it's at. But then again, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about those 2 movies. So it could drop pretty fast. And like I said last time, I would highly recommend, if you are a fan of the Terminator franchise, check out Terminator Zero on Netflix. It's a great 7-part series there.
Fair enough. I will say Genesis, the only thing that I can tell you about it is I'm guessing a little bit here. I'm pretty sure it stars
the Queen
Khaleesi,
of Dragons,
right?
Yeah,
and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and like that's literally all I can tell you about it. I've not seen Dark Fate, although I think Linda Hamilton's back for that one. Actually, fun fact: Linda Hamilton did do the voice recordings of the tapes. They are a little bit different than the ones from 1984.
Really?
But that is her voice.
Like her. Oh, okay.
I agree, and it's probably because she is older as opposed to the younger Linda Hamilton. But that's one of the things I was looking up, but she actually did record those. Like, okay, fair enough, good for her. So, fun fact.
It's strange that they couldn't just use the audio from the first movie, but whatever.
I didn't think there was that much of a difference, but maybe it's because they added tapes.
Yeah, that's true. They did have some
and
tapes.
So
added,
they wanted it to be, instead of like this tape sounds like she's 17 and this tape sounds like she's 50. All of them sound like she's 50, and then that way it's a little bit more easy to go with. But that's all I got.
You know what? I kind of liked the whole recorded thing, and I liked the whole John Connor talking over the radio saying, if you're listening, you are the resistance. I really liked that. I thought that was a cool thing that they had going on there. I would have liked more backstory out of those kinds of situations. Like I said, I felt like we didn't get quite enough of the world building, and definitely not enough of the character building.
I completely agree, but that's again where I would love to have seen a trilogy of this. Not necessarily from Mick G, but just a trilogy of like future. Keep Christian Bale. I like him quite a bit. Keep some of the cast. Obviously, you can't keep Kyle Reese, unfortunately. But keep what you can and build off of this. I think this is actually a pretty solid starting point, unfortunately, for a franchise we'll never see.
Well,
that's a great ending point.
I got to push back on the Christian Bale. I agree with Will in this. I didn't like Christian Bale's character in this. He didn't feel like a John Connor. He was better than John Connor in number 3. So far, crazy as it sounds, Eddie Furlong was the best John Connor we've had.
I'm going to push back on both of you for that one for half a second, because what if this is the start of a trilogy? Your character has to start somewhere and grow from there. We see him get introduced to Kyle Reese, his dad, who is a softer person. What if that introduction and them becoming friends, they can grow off each other, and we see John Connor grow into the person that he's meant to become because of his relationship with his dad, which is why he sends him back to become his, you know what I mean? Like there's things you can do.
Right. Yeah.
That make this actually make a lot of sense.
This after Genesis, and we'll see.
Genesis is that's what I'm saying though. Like I wish we got more of this franchise.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's so much potential in this movie to go forward, and instead they scrapped it and moved on. And like, oh, I get it. It didn't get a warm reception in 2009, but I have to wonder, would this movie have done? Because like you gotta remember, like the Christian Bale thing was huge when it came out. Like
that's what I remember from the film, and it's not part of the film.
I really, really wish we could see what this movie would have done if the hype around it had been, wow, this looks really good and it's kind of fun, instead of, wow, Christian Bale's an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Maybe it wouldn't have moved the needle at all, but I would love to have seen it.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our rating of Terminator Salvation, but what's yours? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. We record this live over at twitch.tv/The Monguli Show every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on over there and hit the follow button if you want to hang out with us live and chat in the background. Or if you're enjoying this on YouTube and you made it this far, you probably enjoyed it. Hit the like and subscribe button so we see you in the next one. All right. Cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Pretty happy with how that worked.
Yeah, I had fun on that one for sure. That was a good one.
I'm looking forward to Will being back next week. For anybody here, next week is not only the triumphant return of Will after 3 Will-less weeks, but also it is going to be our ratings 100th episode. It's going to be a double episode. I'm hoping we're going to get started at 8 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. as we normally do. We're going to have a couple of games for my co-hosts. We're going to be quizzing each other on how well we know each other after all these months. We're going to be talking about all of our favorite movies we've done up until that point. I mean, testing their knowledge and see how much they remember from those movies. I've got a tournament bracket. We're going to be pitting all of the heroes from the movies we've seen against each other, as long as they're not, super powered or something. Because otherwise, I think The Incredibles just crushes everybody else on our list. A bunch of fun little games like that. Potentially some giveaway of the new R rating merch with the blue lightning and whatnot. All of that will be happening next week starting 8 p.m. Make sure you are there to be for that. And then we'll be doing our 100th episode. We'll be discussing Terminator Genesis, unfortunately. There was a point at some point where I was trying to make it so that it'd be Terminator 2. I thought that'd be a cooler one to go off on. But we kind of messed up the schedule, and so here we are. Regardless, should be a really solid time. Make sure you do check that out on your calendar and show up nice and early next week. Brian, where can people find you this week?
This week, Sunday, I will be streaming my second episode of The Last of Us Part 1. I'm having a super fun time with that. And then Sunday night, we'll be doing a watch party of Genesis. I'll be hosting that. If I can find an extended cut or director's cut, I do like to do those, but I don't know. And then I think Monday, after the kids go to school, I will be working on the footage that we recorded, Dan. I have decided that I want to put the effort into those videos that I think I will be releasing one a month, at least until I get a good workflow going, because I'm finding the effort and level of attention that I want to put into those is taking longer than I have the time for a 2-week thing. So I'll be working on that Monday again. I had a lot of fun just going live with chat, doing research after our interview. And I'm actually going to be using that footage in the video rather than re-recording it because it felt more honest and real. And I think I can just edit that in better than I can re-record stuff. So having lots of fun with that stuff, all that new content, lots of great things happening there. So that's what I'll be doing as far as live streaming goes. What about you, Dan? What do you got going
on? So Saturday, I'm hoping to be doing a bit more Pal World, although I would love to get a horde going if I can get a couple of people in for Gears of War 5. I think you are busy Saturday morning. No, you're potentially around?
Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know for sure. I'm
if you're around, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be doing a solo thing.
If I can, I absolutely will. I may have to spend Saturday morning redoing all my stuff here in the studio, trying to get things up. But if I can get it running good, then I would love to look at Gears of War 5 or Gears E-Day through this new graphics card.
Very nice, very nice. So it'll be either that. It'll either be solo Pal World or multiplayer Gears of War 5 Horde mode. Either one of those on Saturday morning will be good. Sunday, you know what? It's the 100th episode. Let's not put that episode, the Genesis behind a paywall. Let's just have that be an open watch party for anybody who wants to come to the R Rating Discord channel. We'll get a link down below. We can get you guys signed up for that. If you want to come and watch that with us,
absolutely. Let's
welcome.
Pack the theater.
Let's pack the theater. Let's get as many people in on this one as possible. I think this is going to be a great one to rip apart, and then we'll be discussing it on Thursday, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then Monday, I have said this for a couple weeks in a row. Actually, no, this Monday I'm away. Never mind. This Monday I'm gone. I feel like I haven't had a Monday show in a while at this point, so I do want to get back to that. I still haven't played Resident Evil 8 since the very first time, like at least a month ago at this point. But we got into like some other stuff. What was that called? Species Unknown for a while there, which is super fun. And then I've just been busy with other stuff. So it hasn't happened yet. It will not happen this week, unfortunately. So it'll be Saturday morning and then the R Rating 100th episode. So should be a good time. Should be a good week.
Yeah, we're lined up for a real good week.
Yeah. Not to mention, stick around because I'm going to be hanging out with Bubba Hotep doing some backseat cinema, talking about all the dead franchises that are making a triumphant return in 2027.
I freaking hate this thing that you're doing with Bubba Hotep. Because
Well,
I end up staying up way past my bedtime watching you guys. It's so entertaining to listen to you guys. I lurk and I don't shut my phone off, and I absolutely need to be getting more sleep. So I hate that you're doing this.
I mean, that's the best insult I've had all day.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be there today. I'll be there tonight too. But I got some chores to do, so I'll be lurking and listening to you guys talk movies as soon as I bounce out of here.
All right, sounds good, sir. I appreciate everything you do for us. If you are going to be watching Backseat Cinema, it would be wonderful, you, everybody, not just Brian, if you could help us out and watch it on YouTube. I don't know who knows this, but YouTube just changed their rules on how they monetize. It won't come into effect until February 1st of next year, but it's going to have a pretty significant ripple where we went from needing 4,000 watch hours to get monetized to needing 8,000 hours to get monetized. Oof. So I really, really, really want to hit that threshold before February. I'd love to hit partner before it doubles. So if at all possible and you're willing, watch our rating on Thursday nights on YouTube. Watch some of our previous episodes. Make a playlist. Actually, I've already made a playlist. You can literally just go there and hit play. It really does help out. We do need to kind of boost our numbers a little bit. That would be amazing. Other than that, I don't know where Bubba is. I was going to bring him on, but he hasn't joined in yet.
All right, well, I'm going to let you vamp because I got to go in and start on those chores, so I won't be up too late tonight. But once again, thanks, Dan, for putting this all together for us, letting us hang out and watch these movies and then rip them apart and rate them.
Sounds good, sir. I will look forward to seeing you on Sunday night and hopefully get to see you Saturday morning. Night, Brian. All right. We are alone here until Mr. Hotep, not Hotep. Yeah, no, Mr. Hotep shows up. I got confused on his name there for a second. Matter of fact, I'm not going live. Everyone watch Backseat on our rating. Oh, really? Are you going to, there? No, that's Brian still. Are you going to come join me so we can actually do this over here? Because I kind of need a co-host for this. For those who don't know, Backseat Cinema is the show that I've been doing with Bubba Hotep for the last couple of weeks. We're only 3 or 4 episodes in. I'm not really sure. Where honestly it just spawned because there we go. It started because Bubba and Hotep and I just love talking movies. He's got his movie channel. I've got mine. We've done a couple of crossovers here and there. And we were just talking live on a Saturday morning while playing something. I don't even remember what. And the chat enjoyed it. And they were just like, hey, more of that, less of everything else. And we're just like, all right, give the audience what they want. So there we go. Bubba, I'm not bringing you on because I don't see you. I just see this little image here. I don't know if that's something you can work on. Hopefully, give me someone to speak to. Oh,
all right, you got me.
Oh, I got you. You are tiny, but I got you.
Really?
Yeah, you are this is your normal like streaming size.
It's the virtual camera. It's what I usually give you.
You're gonna argue with on that one, but okay.
I don't know. Hold on a second.
You are currently about, I'm going to guess, 7% of the entire screen.
I'm going to disappear. Hold on a second. Oh, I think I know. Hold on a second. Yeah, hold on. Sorry, I'm very tired.
Okay, it's all good, sir. It's all good. Grab an energy drink, strap in, and let's do this.
Yep.
So I guess you're not going to be doing Pal World till 6 a.m. today.
No. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to duck out. I was going to finish the Telltale, the chapter 5 of the Walking Dead Telltale, because we've been having a blast the last 2 days, seeing how terrible I am, and even point and click games.
So this is the one where you're following Clementine or whatever her name is.
Yes.
Okay, so I played 2 or 3 of those games, solid games back in the day. But one of them had a point where I was almost throwing my controller. You mentioned the point and click thing. These are like story-based games. People who don't know what we're talking about, they're not very skill intensive per se. It's a lot of just like, what would you do in this situation, which is why I really enjoyed it. But there is one scene in one of them where I want to say a zombie is walking down a stairwell, and for whatever reason, I died on this thing like 9 times in a row. I just could not find the right button to click, and I'm just like, what the is happening? This is not an action game. I could not wrap my head around it. It just bothered the crap out of me.
The problem I had, I mean, I've died on like every one, but whenever the zombie is moving, and you can either hit the zombie or you can hit the wrench or the gun or anything right next to him. And when
Yep.
the zombie is bobbing, my mouse is always clicking the zombie instead of the wrench, so I end up just dying. And
Very nice.
everyone else thinks it's hilarious. I
I think I would find it funny too. Sir, I'm going to give you full screen for a second. I believe, is that a merch shirt you're wearing right now? One of your new merch?
oh yeah. Yep.
I'm going to give you full screen and go into the washroom. Why don't you talk about yourself and all the stuff you're working on over at the Real Bubba Hotep?
Okay. I'm really not working on a whole lot, or I'm working on so much I just can't focus on one thing. But yeah, Bubba Hotep. Right now I'm just doing a whole lot of Pal World. We do movie reviews, new release movie reviews on the YouTube channel. We play games and have fun on Twitch. I'm bringing out a whole bunch of more merchandise, whatever I think catches my fancy at the time. But right now, I'm putting a lot of time in doing this backseat cinema with the R rating guys and Dan. And we need to get these guys monetized as quick as we possibly can. They absolutely and utterly deserve it. And I had nothing prepared for this. I hope Dan is going number one instead of number two, or else we're in for an awkward pause for a long time. Matthew, did you see the corn nuts one? Yeah, that is from a movie. We're starting to do the Gen X, leaning hard into Gen X movies and Gen X reactions on food and games and toys and music and television shows and everything that we had in the 80s that we don't have now. And a movie that I'm a really big fan of is Heathers. So I'm making t-shirts that reference back to cult movies and everything from the 80s. And Corn Nuts is, if you ever watch the movie, you'll know exactly what it is. But yeah, that's the Corn Nuts, Anthony. Have you guys ever watched Heathers? I know Dan hasn't.
I sure haven't.
No.
Missed a whole bunch of movies from the 80s, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's actually one thing. And we talked about the game that we were going to play a little bit. 6 Degrees of Florence Pugh, because screw Kevin Bacon. And
definitely not screw Florence Pugh.
Well, like
when
when she hits rock bottom, call me. But yeah, I'm going to let you look at the movie that I pick, because I'm pretty sure you have no idea. You've never heard of the movie before.
Well, it's a good thing you're picking one a movie I've never heard of. That seems like a fun way to play the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could have been a simple one, but who wants that?
And are we going to do this back and forth? Am I going to give you one and you give me one kind of thing? Or
yeah, absolutely. Right. I know it might take a while, so I figure one, unless we do it really quick, maybe think of another one. But it's up to you. Do you want to go first?
Sure. You're going to throw one at me? Why not?
Okay. Yep. It's called A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon.
Jesus Christ. Did you make that up?
No, I didn't. And as a matter of fact, it just popped into my head, and I've seen that movie maybe once my entire life.
And you said I'm allowed to IMDb it. I can look it up.
Yep.
Okay.
You can look it up.
A Night in the Life of
Jimmy
Reardon with River Phoenix.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've only seen this movie once, but
Matthew Perry. Okay.
All these years.
Johnny Galecki. Is Johnny Galecki?
Yes.
That? Wow. Okay. So I recognize 3 names from this. So I've got 3 different ways to go off. River Phoenix doesn't have a big filmography that I'm aware of.
Right.
But he does give me Harrison Ford, which could lead a lot of places. I mean, okay. So look, if we want to go really, really cheap, I'm going to try and stay away from the MCU. But if we want to go really, really cheap, you've easily got River Phoenix to Harrison Ford to Anthony Mackie to whatever Barnum.
Sebastian Stan,
thank you. Sebastian Stan to Florence Pugh. So we did it in 4 or 5.
Right.
If we don't do the MCU, let's try that and see if we can get there. Matthew Perry has a ton of cameos on Friends, so that really helps. John Galecki, I'm not as familiar with outside of Big Bang nor am I that familiar with Big Bang. I mean, okay.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay, fair enough. John Galecki, if we
I'll let
want to
you
go
know about
MCU, Stan Lee was on that show.
Yeah.
Stan Lee has cameos in everything, although he might have passed away before Florence Pugh got into the MCU. But you could easily go John Galecki to Stan Lee to literally pick anybody to Florence Pugh.
Right.
So that'd be easy enough to do. Matthew Perry, who was on? Oh, Paul Rudd was on Friends. So you could easily do that as well if you really just want to go. Like the MCU makes this really, really cheap.
But are we doing television shows or are we doing?
Can you
movies?
not do television shows in this?
I mean, yeah, we can if you want to, but
Okay.
just some people try and stay away from television, the small screen,
well,
and do the big screen.
Fair. That'll make Matthew Perry significantly less useful.
Actually, I'll give you. He was in the whole 9 yards, the whole 10 yards. Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I know he had
Amanda
sub movies for sure, but not. I mean, if you get rid of Friends, you're getting rid of Brad Pitt, Jean-Claude
Selleck.
Van Damme, Tom Selleck, Julia Roberts. Like, there's a lot of cameos on that show.
Right.
Paul Rudd. Okay, so if we're not doing that, let's go. Where do we get from Bruce Willis? Anywhere interesting? Bruce Willis to Sam Jackson to MCU. Bruce Willis to. I'm trying to go backwards. So Florence Pugh is also in Oppenheimer. So you've got access to Matt Damon. You've got access to the woman whose name I'm totally blanking on right now, married to John Krasinski, played Mary Poppins.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. You had access to, of course, Cillian Murphy himself. You got access to Robert Downey Jr., which makes it super easy. So there's a lot of big heavy hitters there. But how do we backtrack that? We go. Bruce Willis is in Ocean's 12? Is that right?
I'm not sure. I'm not positive.
So you go Matthew Perry to Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis to. I'm trying my best to stay away from the MCU. Bruce Willis to. Oh, okay. We're working through it. I got an idea in my head that I can do without touching the MCU.
Yeah, the
actually make
MCU
the
nowadays kind of feels like a cheat, doesn't it?
Right,
just-
it really does, especially because like with Kevin Bacon being in the MCU, like 6
Right.
Degrees of Kevin Bacon is very, very simple. So let's go. Robert Downey Jr. to. There's probably 1,000 Bruce Willis movies that are jumping in people's heads that I'm just missing right now.
Technically only about a dozen for me because I don't count anything that he just all of the crappy movies that he was just trying to earn a paycheck from.
Sure. That's fair. Okay. This is going to get convoluted, but I'm staying away from the MCU. So we're going to go with Matthew Perry is in Whole 9 Yards with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is in Die Hard, Die Another Day, I think it is, with Justin Long. Is that right?
Is it Live Free Die Hard?
Live Free Die Hard. My apologies. I had the
Yeah,
wrong Die Hard
Justin
with Justin Long.
Yeah.
Justin Long is in. Oh shoot! I don't know if he is actually. Justin Long is in Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Yeah.
He's in that with, let's say, Jason Mewes. Jason
Okay.
Mewes is in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is in Zoolander with what's his name? Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller is in Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is in Oppenheimer with Florence Pugh.
Okay. So we
That's
got it in
way over the
right?
limit, I'm sure.
Well, no, just
But I'd stay away from television shows apparently and the MCU. So I'm pretty okay with that.
All right, and I think I got it in 6 because I didn't look this up. I didn't look any of this up. This was just something that it kind of popped in my head and thought. But A Night in the Life with Jimmy Reardon, you have River Phoenix. That's who I was really going for. Thought about River Phoenix. He was in a movie called The Thing Called Love with Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock, if I believe correctly, was in a movie called Forces of Nature with Ben Affleck.
Yep.
And Ben Affleck was in
every movie with Matt Damon.
Well, no, I was thinking he was in Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon. And then I was thinking Matt Damon was with Mark Wahlberg in The Departed. Mark Wahlberg was with Jack Rayner in Transformers Age of Extinction. Jack Rayner was with Florence Pugh in Midsummer.
I mean, you can cut that down a lot because Matt Damon is in Oppenheimer with Florence Pugh.
Yeah, he is.
So you just go
forgot all about that.
You get to Ben Affleck like you did, and then Ben Affleck to Matt Damon, and Matt Damon to Florence Pugh.
Yeah. See, I was thinking of a movie that I knew you watched, Sing Street. I was thinking, all right, there's hardly anybody in there. And then I thought, no, wait a second. You've got Jack Rayner that's in there that I knew from Age of Extinction. I'm like, wait, no, he was in freaking Midsummer so you would have done it in 1. So I was just trying to think with that.
Okay. I'm going to go a little bit meta. Again, you cannot use the MCU.
Okay.
I would like you to connect Kevin Bacon to Florence Pugh.
Oh, shoot. All right. Let's see here. Well, we can almost pop it. There's so many Kevin Bacon movies that I can't put my finger on one single Kevin Bacon movie. Did you ever have that problem whatsoever?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Where you're just like, oh, he's in everything. And you actually try and think of them. You're like, what have I seen him in?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I know him, but like what? Like, I can tell you movies he's in, but not that I've watched.
Right, and I know him from like the early 80s stuff, Quicksilver, Tremors, Footloose, stuff like that. Answer my question real quick. Was he in Flatliners?
Yes.
All right, so he was in Flatliners wasn't Kiefer Sutherland in Flatliners as well?
I believe so. I'm just looking it up. Wait, what? Wait, whoa. He's credited as being in a Tremors TV movie from 2018. I did not realize he was still playing that character.
Yeah, I had no idea that he was still playing that.
Tremors 1990, Flatliners, I want to say is a little after that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I actually don't see it. Here, I'll look it up. I'll just search for Flatliners.
Yeah, I don't want to look it up.
Yeah, he is in it for sure.
All right, he is. Let's see if we can go the Kiefer Sutherland route. I mean, Kiefer Sutherland opens up The Lost Boys with Corey Feldman, which, okay, well, let's see. We've got,
Curious where your brain's going on this one because we're going very different directions.
all right, Kevin Bacon. Yeah, I can't even really think of a Kevin Bacon movie yet, but we're going to do the reach around. Kevin Bacon with Kiefer Sutherland and Flatliners. Kiefer Sutherland with Corey Feldman in The Lost Boys.
Sure.
Corey Feldman with River Phoenix in Stand By Me. And then River Phoenix connected through the same way. Sandra Bullock to Ben Affleck to Matt Damon to Florence Pugh.
Isn't Kiefer Sutherland in Stand By Me?
Yeah, I said Kiefer Sutherland with River Phoenix in Stand By Me. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, you made an unnecessary jump for a second there.
Right. Like I did with Matt Damon and what's his name?
Yeah, okay.
Mark Wahlberg, Jack Rayner. So basically same movies.
Okay. So I'm going to go a little quicker, and admittedly I did have more time to think about this one. But you've got Kevin Bacon with Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise with Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Robert Downey Jr. in Florence Pugh with Florence Pugh in Oppenheimer.
And I never remember Tropic Thunder whatsoever because
I haven't thought about it as much as I have today ever.
Well, I mean, you've got Jack Black with isn't The Rock in Jumanji with Jack Black?
The Rock, yeah, they are.
Yeah, The Rock was also in a movie called Fighting with the Family.
Yep, Fighting with My Family. Oh, I forgot that was Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a pretty fun movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And
I'm not a wrestling fan. Like, I don't know who the character she's playing, but I enjoyed that film. I forgot that was her in it. Oh,
I stopped watching wrestling like a while, so I didn't know that character, but I had a lot of fun watching that.
I watched wrestling a little bit around 98 to 2000 ish, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, I kind of got done with the whole storyline with Undertaker, Brood taking Vince Stone Cold era, stuff like that.
That's fair. The WCW collapsed, and I kind of lost interest. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about tonight.
Much. No, what we're talking about, actually, it interests me because this ties in with your other talk show that you do right before ours, and it working on franchises and stuff, because there's so many things slated for 2027 that they're pretty much continuations of dead franchises or pretty kind of complete reboots.
Or franchises that should be dead, but I'm bummed.
Yeah. Especially one. You saw that list that I gave you, and
I did. I'm looking at it right now.
Come on. It's terrible. We were hoping it was dead. I was hoping it was completely done and over with. But yeah, I mean, you have things like Air Bud, another sequel coming in. You have a sequel to The Simpsons coming in.
Whoa! Don't go quick. This is the topic for the night.
Well, no. I'm
slow it down and talk about it.
I'm giving a list of like the movies that you thought were dead and gone that are just making a resurgence in 2027, and I mean actually becoming franchises and stuff like that when you forgot there was even a movie to begin with.
That's fair. Is there anything on this list that you are excited for or wanting to get revived and brought back?
Yes, there's two of them.
Okay.
That I'm looking forward to. I mean, there's one that I've been waiting for. It was supposed to come out around November, the holiday season this year, but for some reason it's completely off the slate now, which is the Return of the Living Dead revamp that they were just starting the whole thing. I know that you said you have never seen them, but it is a huge horror comedy cult classic, Return of the Living Dead. There's like 5 of them. Okay. And they're just they're great. And when I saw that they were remaking it and it was going to take place at the same time, like 1986, so it was going to be retro, it wasn't going to be present day, and it was going to be practical effects of the zombies again, just like practical effects back then. I just loved it, and I was counting down the days, and then it just disappeared. Didn't know where it went.
Weird.
Yeah, so it kind of bothered me. But Gremlins 3, huge. I'm waiting for Gremlins 3. Hopefully they're gonna hopefully being so long, 30 years old,
Well,
almost 40 years old. Hopefully it's gonna be something big.
so the thing with Gremlins that we did on our rating, we watched both of them somewhat recently. They're tonally very different movies.
Oh yeah.
So like, is Gremlins 3 gonna be kind of dark and scary and back to like the pseudo horror roots of the first one, or is it going to be like
Right.
slapstick comedy, takes place in the middle of the day like the second one? Like I don't know where they could possibly go with that franchise. And like, if you saw my review, I don't care that much, but like, I'm curious to see
Yeah.
the trailer at very least and just be
And
like, what are you doing with this one?
I know Zach Gaffigan was pretty disappointed in you because you didn't like his movie very much.
Well, no, he was pretty disappointed in me because you told him to. I don't think he watched my review whatsoever.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
what can I say? But that, and also The Mummy. That's making. I was a huge Mummy return of Rick and Evie. So it's getting away from The Rock with the Scorpion King, and it's getting away from the temple. The
But
Jet
this is
Li
Brendan
movie.
Fraser and
Yeah,
Rachel Wise, is it?
yeah, Rachel Weisz, bringing back the original Rick and Evie character. They're doing away with the whole 2017 Tom Cruise The Mummy,
Yeah.
and like it didn't exist. So those are like,
Which most of us agreed with. So
yeah, I don't even remember that, but
I never saw it.
I kind of blocked it out in my memory. But there were a couple of these that I noticed. I'm like, wait a second, this is a part 3. They made a part 2. This is a part 4. They made a part 3. You know, that I just didn't watch. But
Yeah.
those are the only 2 that I'm actually excited to see, that I'm happy to see coming back. A couple of them, shoot, I really
I'll
wish
admit,
they were
like,
done with.
looking at your list, and if we do want to go over it,
Yeah.
number 1 is Fokker-in-Law.
Mhm.
I think I saw the first one, and I was like, I get it, I'm good. I have not seen them since then. Now, did they just make a Fokkers movie like in the last year,
same
or
here. The
or is this that one?
No, well, I mean, it may be, and it's coming out in 2027. But from what I saw, the last one was Little Fockers in
Yeah.
2010.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's like 16 years ago. And now, you know, everything's coming out. I don't see the point of it.
I don't. This one leaves me scratching my head. I mean, I guess Ben Stiller needs a paycheck, but like,
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, dude. Is anybody beating down the door for more Fokkers? Like, I
No.
just
Yeah.
it was a franchise that was dead after the first one for me.
Yeah, me too. 100%. I didn't care to see anything more
Yeah.
from the in-laws or Meet the Parents or whatever it was called.
Yeah. Next on the list, we got Air Bud Returns. You're saying this is the 14th Air Bud movie, but the last one was released in 2013.
Yeah.
I've never seen an Air Bud movie, and I say that as a father with young children. I've just never subjected them to it. I've never subjected myself to it. This is a hard pass.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I can't say anything. The new ones, like the puppies in space type thing, you know, and all that they have. I know the kids loved it when it was like 2-3 years old because it was cute little puppies that were
Sure.
all around, you know. But as for the whole Air Bud basketball MVP thing with the golden retriever, I've never seen a single one of them.
No, and I don't imagine I'm going to start now.
Yeah.
And then you got the Thomas Crown Affair. Now, this is not a sequel so much as a remake of a remake.
Yeah.
Um,
Remake of a remake.
You told me about this one. You were like, "Oh, they can't possibly do this," because you are a big fan of the Pierce Brosnan one. I don't have that kind of love for that one, and I actually do like Michael B. Jordan quite a bit. So I'm more open to this than you are, but I definitely wasn't like beating down the door for another,
Right.
Thomas Crown Affair.
Right. I mean, I could see. I liked the Steve McQueen one. I've seen it once. It was like 1969 or something that they made it 1967, and I liked it. It kind of had that Ocean's 11 heist thing to it, where it was almost kind of a comedy and have like freeze frame and everything. And then when they remade it in '99 with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo. I really liked it. I mean, Pierce Brosnan just brought that. I liked him the best as 007, even over
Okay.
Sean Connery, which is,
Wow.
that's a taboo thing. But I liked the suaveness and the charm and just the smoothness he brought to the character of Thomas Crown.
Okay.
And I was always since Lethal Weapon 2 or Lethal Weapon 3, I was a huge fan of Rene Russo. So and there was a scene between the two, and I was like, I think I was 20 or 21 when I saw that. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. And even though Michael B. Jordan, I like him. I mean, he's a good actor. He can bring suave and smooth.
Oh yeah.
I like the debonair attitude and the British kind of dry wit and everything that Pierce Brosnan brings. And I think it's kind of a step down to have Michael B. Jordan do it. I do.
It's not because of Michael B. Jordan, but just because of the movie itself. It's probably not one that I'm going to be checking out in theaters, but I mean, I might check it out when it comes to Netflix or wherever it does, like when I can just watch it for free. I'm not excited for it, but I'm not heartbroken either because I saw the Pierce Brosnan one once and I was like, and moved on with my life. So.
Yeah, I mean, who wants the retelling of it? I mean,
yeah,
we really didn't need one.
Well, Hollywood's out of ideas. So, and honestly, like I don't even know how much this is going to be the same story or if it's just going to be the name slapped on a different entire set of heists. But
and it could, from what I saw from the trailer, it's the same. I mean, it's the same person. He's doing the same thing. He's a thief. But other than that, I don't know one way or another.
Speaking of Hollywood being out of ideas, next on the list is Spaceballs 2. This one's coming almost 40 years after the original one from 1987. I'm a little disappointed they changed the name. So it's 87. Not going to be the Quest for More Money. I think that definitely they should have stuck with that one. If only for the continuity, it would have been amazing. I'm not excited for this one, other than Rick Moranis getting a job.
But have you saw Spaceballs like way after, right? Kind of like recently in the past few years?
No. I definitely saw Spaceballs in like the late 90s, early 2000s. So I was
10 years after.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't watch it fresh, but I didn't. It's not like a new edition. It's just not. I like Mel Brooks, but it's just not. It's fine. Like it's okay. It's got good moments, but like I don't love it the way most people do. Like people talk about this like it's like amazing, and I'm just like, okay.
Right. Well, I saw it in theaters. I was 10. I mean, I saw it when it came out, and it was you had John Candy and Bill. You had the original Rick Moranis, Mel Brooks. It was just an awesome cast.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
I'm a little interested to see what Josh Gad is going to do with it, because I like his humor for the most part, and I watched the panel, when they had everyone to it, and they kind of had like a running gag in the panel to show what the humor was going to be.
Okay.
And it was so Mel Brooks, and it had added things into it that it just seemed like it was going to click. So if it has the comedy of Mel Brooks that is just kind of tongue-in-cheek, slapstick, and kind of like the alien popping out of the chest and doing a little song and dance as it's going down, I'm going to enjoy it. I really am. My 10-year-old me is going to like Spaceballs too.
Which is totally fair, and I'm sure that I will end up seeing it. I don't know. I didn't watch the panel, which is surprising because it was, hosted by Kevin Smith.
Right.
Maybe I'll change my tune. Maybe I'll become a believer. I don't know, but it's just not one that I'm like woo for. Right. It's just kind of like, okay.
Well, you're a diehard Star Wars fan, though, aren't you? I mean,
no, I'm definitely not a diehard Star Wars fan, but I am a Star Wars fan.
All right. So, do you have a problem when there's like parodies, spoofs like this?
No, that's not my issue with it whatsoever. I might not be a huge fan of spoofs in general, more so than I care that they're spoofing on Star Wars. If you can make a good joke, I think you can joke about literally anything. I don't think there's anything that's like purely sacred. I just didn't connect with them, I guess. I think, like, again, it's been a while. Like I saw the movie probably 3 or 4 times between 98 to 2005. And I don't think I've seen it since then. So like, people change. Maybe I'll find it funny again. Who knows?
Right.
It's just not one that when people are like, oh my God, Spaceballs, I'm like, yeah, okay.
But were you a fan of Mel Brooks? I don't know, early 70s Mel Brooks to me, even early 80s. Young Frankenstein didn't hit hard. History of the World, funnier. Blazing Saddles, I enjoyed for the most part. I mean, what little boy isn't going to enjoy the campfire freaking bean, joke that they have going on? But Mel Brooks to me was Spaceballs and Robin Hood Men in Tights. And I went to the theater both times to watch, both of those. And that was the humor that I got. It spoke to 10-year-old me. Have you ever seen like Men in Tights or anything like that? Or did you see it like in later years where your humor kind of matured?
I have never seen Blazing Saddles, although I own it. I have not seen it. I have seen Men in Tights once, whenever it came out on VHS. I remember thinking it was funny, but I've also not gone back to it in 30 years. So,
Okay, yeah, that's enough.
That's right. Like
not in a bad way. It's still good.
I did try to rewatch it recently with my kids, with my wife and kids, and my wife and I sort of looked at each other after 20 minutes or something. We're like, I think we'll watch something else for now.
Yeah,
but my kids still reference it. My kids are like, can we watch the movie with like the blind guy and the castle? And we're just like, what are you talking? Oh yeah. I mean, now they can see it, but they were just a little bit young when we tried to watch it.
Yeah, it's my boys really loved it because we try and do like an 80s theme at least once a month. And I mean, they loved Spaceballs. They loved like The Princess Bride. They loved stuff like that.
Yeah.
Men in Tights, they liked it, but they had a hard time getting past like the opening musical scene.
Okay.
Where it's the hay lot, and they didn't really like that. It didn't age well, some of the jokes.
Speaking of something I am very curious about, though, the next one on the list is The Legend of Zelda. Now, this one is interesting that you brought it up here because it's not ever been made live action on film, on TV, on anything. It did have a cartoon back in the 80s, but that's literally out. This is one of the things where it could be the worst thing ever put on screen, or it could be really, really good. And like, I know, people have their own opinions on this, but like in a world where we're getting The Last of Us that is damn near a perfect representation of what the games were, I'm kind of hoping this is good.
Yeah. I was never a big Zelda fan. Those aren't the games that I liked on NES. I was more of like a pro wrestling, just a straight wrestling ring and two figures just punching and kicking each other. I like those. I like Mario. Zelda was too kind of story driven for me to go around the puzzles and everything like that. So I never had an interest in it, but it rang out to me when I saw it on the list because I know there are so many people that love the Zelda franchise. They love everything about it. They dress up like Zelda and Link and everything, and they have t-shirts and all of that. And I'm wondering if there's going to be like a huge, I don't know, like a riot of a whole bunch of people looking like Link if the movie is no good, because Zelda is either the people love it or they just really don't care whatsoever about it. And if you don't stick true to the lore, I think it'll be like Mortal Kombat and stuff, that people will get really angry if you try to change it.
Okay, so Ocarina of Time is arguably my favorite video game of all time. So it's at least in the conversation. That being said, every Zelda game, like there is an overarching lore if you like spend time on Reddit and try and really force it. But there's not like if you play Zelda 2 and then you play Zelda 4, you're lost because you don't know what happened in Zelda 3, right? Like they don't have that kind of a storyline. Each one's essentially a standalone game. And some of the iterations have been vastly different. In fact, the most recent 2 is like Link and Zelda don't really even look like Link and Zelda. They have like very different outfits, very different lore, very different world that they live in. And that is some people's Zelda, whereas mine is more like the Green Elf. So it's interesting. Not only that they're making this, but like I'm very curious to see which direction they go. Because like being Disney, it makes sense for them to do Breath of the Wild Link, because that's the Link that's really popular right now with kids, as opposed to trying to force, Link's Awakening or Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time Link, which is my Link. Because you might get yourselves in a Masters of the Universe situation where you make this movie and you don't really know who you're making it for because kids don't care and the older generation kind of goes, eh. I know we disagree on Masters of the Universe, but I'm saying, like, for me, it's one of those things where, like, it didn't really land for me. I think Legend of Zelda would be better suited going more like Lord of the Rings, like going high fantasy, as opposed to a Masters of the Universe, like, campy, silly, let's get Chris Pratt in here and make some jokes.
Right.
Who's to say? We don't know anything about this, or I don't know anything about this project or what direction they're going with it, but this is one that I am very curious about. If they pull it off, it could be a real serious franchise on their hands.
What I'm worried about is the last video game franchise that people are diehard fans about that I remember that comes right off the top of my head is Warcraft. When they made the movie Warcraft, and that was a huge letdown. I never knew anything about Warcraft. I knew you played World of Warcraft. I don't know if you saw the movie, if you were pleased with the movie or not, but I know a lot of people just fried that movie. Really terribly.
I didn't hate the movie as much as most people did. I didn't love it. I've only seen it once. I've had no interest to go back to it. But I remember watching and being like, yeah, that's kind of what I expected from a World of Warcraft movie. Now, I knew the games. I'd played them, but I maybe wasn't as super deep in the lore as other people were. But, like, I thought it was fine for what it was. Like, I don't know if maybe people were expecting Lord of the Rings and it wasn't that, but it wasn't atrocious. I don't remember it being atrocious. Maybe it was. I don't know. I'd have to go back and check it again.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was one of those ones that, like, maybe didn't get quite a fair shake, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the thing that stood out most to me was the CGI. Yeah,
that's true.
Kind of looked very cartoony,
Well, the orcs are kind of cartoony.
Yeah, but you would think a little bit more like depth in wrinkles and a little more contour instead of just being kind of flat 3D and making it look like a 3D cartoon, more or less. But that's what I thought. But there's one thing, we'll switch if you want to, because you brought up Lord of the Rings, and there's a new Lord of the Rings movie that's coming out in this franchise as well. It's the second to the bottom, The Hunt for Golem.
Gollum.
So Gollum, Schmeagol.
I think the trilogy is fantastic. I didn't even bother finishing The Hobbit. And I watched the first season, I think, of The Rings of Power, and I was just kind of like, you know what? I think I'm good. You would have to really impress me with a trailer. Otherwise, I don't think I care about The Hunt for Gollum whatsoever.
Right. And I think this is another one of those. I mean, just like on Clerks 2, you have the trilogy. No, this is the trilogy. No, there's so many people that are diehard fans, and they were let down with The Hobbit and
well, it was bad.
Yeah, just kind of like how the second trilogy for Star Wars, everybody was let down. And I'm just wondering if you're going to bring up another Lord of the Rings, even if the series is doing kind of okay, I mean, and you're trying to open up the franchise again, is this going to be a one and done, or is this going to be the start of another franchise while the series is running?
Well, let me ask you this. We've seen Gollum's origin story where he's a hobbit and he finds the ring and it turns him evil and he gives him a longer life than he's supposed to have. We've seen where he meets Bilbo and he enters the story and he gets the ring taken away from him. We've seen where he meets Frodo and he's reunited with the ring and he's doing the whole thing there. And we've seen his death. What on earth do we need to see more from this character?
Exactly.
The Hunt for Gollum. We nobody's hunting Gollum.
Yeah,
he's living in a cave. We found him, then we left him behind, then we found him again, then we killed him.
Right.
This is the most complete story I've ever seen, and they're just like, yeah, let's make another one. I'm like, why?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Are they going to try and revamp and make a trilogy where there's really no story and nobody wants one, you know, and are they just trying to sink money into it to try and make a quick buck? Is there going to be a good storyline in it? You know, what's going on with it?
I don't know anything about this. I'm going to predict here and now this bombs. I'm going to say, and like maybe I'm horribly wrong. Maybe it's going to be amazing, but I just don't think the appetite for Lord of the Rings is there right now, and especially a weird offshoot that's nobody's asking for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
it feels like the thing with Star Wars, I know this is a weird tangent, is they will not leave this like 20-year period alone where the Skywalkers are the most important people in the galaxy. And everybody is like, let's go back 1,000 years and see when the Jedis were cool. And they're just like, nah, let's make another Star Wars movie.
Right.
Or a Skywalker movie. Like, I'm assuming there is a rich lore history of Lord of the Rings back when the elves were in power and all this cool stuff was going on. And instead they're like, nah, let's focus on Gollum again. Why not? That's people. Let's get Andy Serkis in here. It's just like, oh, you're killing me.
Yep.
I don't care. I don't care about this whatsoever. I can't imagine many people do.
I feel you. I think it's going to bomb. It's Skinny Matthew had it straight. Exactly what I said before. I think they make these kind of movies when they have to launder some money, when they owe somebody some money and they can't just give them cash. So they say, hey, we'll give you this part and we'll pay you a certain amount. You know,
the movie's going to have a $500 million budget and then 20 million of it's going to be on screen.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to bring in like 14 million. Most likely.
Oh, it'll do better than that, I'm sure. But I don't see it doing well enough to start a trilogy.
Right.
Now, Paranormal Activity is on this one. I don't know anything about this franchise. I'm not sure I've seen any of them. This is the found footage one in the bedroom.
Well, yeah, it takes place in more. It started out found footage and did a couple of found footage, and then went to a story, and then went to a background, then moved to somebody else and it just kind of, downhill fairly quick. The first one I absolutely loved. I mean, I just loved it. You can't really say found footage was a new thing, but this was a new thing where it was security cameras in the house and people sleeping and catching people sleepwalking. And, it was
the
new.
Found footage nature makes sense.
Yeah. And I remember jumping a couple of times in the theater. Second time, they told the story. Third one, they rounded out the story. Fourth one, they moved to something else. I think there's like 5 altogether. And maybe even 7, and this will be the 8th one. I can't remember all of them, but it was a dead franchise. I was glad it was dead. They just dragged it through the mud, and now they're coming up with a new one.
Great.
Yeah, fantastic.
I've not seen any of them. I can't imagine this is going to move the needle on that. Maybe we'll do it on our rating at some point, but other than that, I'm good. Paranormal Activity, Portland. Next up is Shrek 5.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's Shrek 5.
It sure is happening again. Again, this feels just like, Michael Myers hasn't done anything in a while, so let's get him a new house. Why not?
Right. Yeah. I mean, this should really be, a lot of the sequels should be labeled The Quest for More Money.
Right.
Honestly,
this is a franchise where I've generally enjoyed the movies once and found them very tedious a second time.
Mm-hmm.
And it bothers me because like Shrek, when it came out, owned that summer, and it completely dominated a movie that I think is significantly better and significantly more rewatchable, which is The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, yeah.
I think that movie's way better. And the only thing people talked about was Shrek. And maybe it's because the CGI graphics or whatnot. I'm not entirely sure. But
yeah, that was.
I watched Shrek and I was like, oh, that was good. And then I saw it a second time. I'm like, I didn't enjoy that. And then I watched it the third time. I'm like, please kill me.
Yeah.
It just gets worse and worse on rewatch. Where I think Emperor's New Groove is just better and better and better on rewatch.
Now imagine living out in the country where you don't have cable, and Shrek is one of the tapes that the kids have to watch over and over and over again. And I mean, I know Shrek just about word for word. And then and Dad, can we see Shrek 2? Oh God. And it just went on and on. And now Shrek 5, and I have a new group of kids, and they like Shrek and they've seen it, and they're going to want to see this one. And I think I now hold a personal grudge with Mike Myers.
Well, hey, at least you can like maybe review it or something and try and make some money back or something.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Simpsons movie. Simpsons can't possibly have anything new to say, right? They've had 40 seasons and a movie already. Like, what is this going to be?
Yeah, I don't understand this in the slightest. I mean, the movie, okay, did good. It
Did
did
it?
all
They
right.
haven't made another one since 2010.
Yeah, well, I mean,
2007, sorry.
yeah, I remember it being, and I think that was was it the, that wasn't the 30th anniversary, that was the 20th anniversary, and it was still out. It's still on television. It's still on television now. I guess it's just going to remain popular and remain a thing. But I mean, my grandkids haven't even heard of The Simpsons before.
Yeah.
They've heard it in passing. They haven't seen any of them. So who is actually watching these things?
We tried to introduce our twins to it, and unfortunately we tried at the very first episode, which is a stupid idea. So then we jumped to just doing like the Halloween episodes. But again, even the first, like, we really got to start at like season 4, like,
Right.
like start when it's like the animation's a little bit cleaner, it's a little bit better off, whatnot. But like, I want to say seasons like 3 through 10 are watchable, with like 4 through 8 being solid, right? Like, and then it's just
Right.
kept going since then. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Simpsons episode in a very long time. I did, like, apparently Kevin Smith was on an episode, so I watched
really?
like 2/3 of it, and even then I didn't finish it. It was just like, this is just not good. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
See, I mean, I grew up with The Simpsons. I watched it on Fox like 5 o'clock in the evening. While we're eating after we get done, we watch The Simpsons. I remember watching the Tracy Ullman show where The
Okay.
Simpsons got its start. And so it was kind of a big thing then. And then I grew up. I became an adult, and The Simpsons had nothing to do with me. My kids weren't really fond of it because there were new, different cartoons. Animation took a completely different turn right about that time, and I just don't understand. Are there going to be 50, 60-year-olds like me that are spending $50 to try and show their great grandkids Bart Simpson? I mean, I just don't get it. I don't know why they would bother.
well, and you've had 40 years. You've told every
Right.
story you can possibly come up with. You've told some of them multiple times. I just don't know, like, what could you do that would make this interesting? Because even if you do something like, oh, we're going to jump 30 years in the future, like, we've done that multiple times. We're going to
Many
make them
times.
present day, so like Bart Simpson aged like he's supposed to. Well, that's just a jump to the future episode. Now you've got Bart Simpson at 45 or whatever. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I just don't see what you could do with that would be like, wow, that's a new idea. Nothing feels new.
The only thing I can think of is if they're trying to run with the entire Simpsons predictive programming, telling the future thing that everybody loves making YouTube videos about. Like The Simpsons said this in season blah
Yeah.
blah blah episode this, and
Simpsons
this
predicted
person
the
did-
future.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I can think of. And if you're making a part 2 of it, it's going to have to be the apocalypse, and it's going to have to come pretty damn quick because I don't understand what else they have to say.
Portland Robocop saying that not only the movie revitalized the show, so he's got some hope that they'll be able to do it again and they'll make it a big success. But the problem with The Simpsons is now that they've retconned the ages so that characters like Homer went to high school in the 90s instead of the 70s, which I guess makes sense from if my kids were to watch it, Homer's supposed to be old, but he's not supposed to be ancient.
Right.
I guess that makes sense. So like the music he's listening to is Nirvana, which they might have heard of, instead of Queen, which they also might have heard of. I don't know.
Right.
I don't. I
have
get
no
the point.
interest in it
Kind
now.
of in the same way that, like, it's hard to, like, the further we go, it's harder to believe that Magneto was alive during the Holocaust.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So like I get the same thing where like I don't believe that Homer would have been 20 in 1970 and is only 40 in 2026.
Right.
But like,
Right.
is anybody doing the math on that one? Like, who cares?
Right.
Just-
But I mean, you had the running joke of Maggie being a baby for 40 years, so I think that ruins it because the audience are in their 50s and they remember the original Homer and the original Marge. And now if they have Homer is our age instead of us seeing Homer is the old, we related to Bart. We didn't relate to Homer. If they retrofitted everything, we're going to be relating to Homer now, and nobody wants to relate to Homer. Nobody.
Oh, Homer was the better part than Bart was, but yeah. It's interesting. Somebody's just saying if they aged them, they'd be whatever. I think Lisa, because in the show Bart's 10, Lisa's 8, and Maggie's like 2 or something, right? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Not 2. She's got to be like 6 months or something. She's
Like 10 months old or something like that.
So if it started in 1989, I would be Lisa's age roughly. So Lisa would be 43 now.
Yeah. Bart would be about my age. Homer would be in his early to mid 60s. Something like that.
Something like that.
I think
I just don't care.
I don't get it. I don't even I put too much energy and brain cells into trying to figure this out.
Simpsons was the basis of my humor growing up, and I can never find a situation where I can't fit a quote in. Same, to be perfectly honest. It hurts me a little bit because I will quote Simpsons to this day, but now my coworkers are younger than me instead of being my age, and half the time they just look at me weird, and I'm just like, right, never mind.
To be honest,
which means I'm losing my vocabulary, quite frankly.
I could barely remember a single episode of The Simpsons, and I watched it all through my childhood.
I watched it, so we weren't allowed to watch it, but we did anyways, and it was on every day, starting at 5 o'clock, but then they did 5 and 5:30. But my parents usually got home around 5:30, so I could only watch the first one every single day. Reruns didn't matter, whatever it was, and then it got to the point where like, as syndication grew and as channels grew, it was on multiple times a day on multiple channels. It got to the point where, like, for a while there, you could almost guarantee Simpsons was on television somewhere at some time.
Yeah.
And this is before Netflix. You could just literally turn it on anytime you wanted. Like, this was back when it was syndicated, and it was still just like constant.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And back before The Simpsons, it was Gilligan's Island, which the most syndication, it would be on somewhere at some time, 24 hours a day. You'd be able to find it. Simpsons was like that too. And I was the same way. I mean, Head of the Class, Animaniacs, and Simpsons is what I really had growing up. So I remember all that, but I just lost interest 20 years ago.
Yeah. Dingo is, I'm not going to add him too hard, but like early 20s-ish. He says Simpsons was never really his thing. He did watch the movie, but that's basically it. But The Simpsons has a large meme following. Like, I don't know anyone who has seen very much Simpsons my age, but everyone I know can name the entire family. I mean, he's not wrong. They've been on television for 37 years or something. 37.
Yeah.
They're very recognizable. But like, if nobody's watching them or nobody I know is watching them, then like, what do they do? Like, obviously, people have to be watching them. They keep making it. They've got to be profitable in some regards, but
yeah.
I mean, they're way past the
I mean, they're iconic now. Before they were referencing pop culture before Family Guy did, and it was popular, and now they are pop culture, That's really about it.
Monorail. Sorry, somebody mentioned it. I had the soundtrack. So there was a CD, the songs and the tunes of Springfield, that had all the music from the first couple of seasons that I had. Way back in the day, but also there was a drive-in movie theater around my local town, and they would play that CD for decades. That would be the only thing they'd play because they didn't have to pay any royalty fees or anything to it. So when you got there like an hour before dusk, so you'd have to just sit there and wait, that's what would be playing through the radio on repeat. So I'm intimately familiar with that CD. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next one if you're okay.
If we have to.
Well, okay. So we did the Conjuring franchise on R rating last Halloween, and I loved the first movie. What I didn't know about the first movie was that it was based on a true story. And as soon as I figured that out, I could not care less about the franchise, because all of a sudden I knew that these two characters, whose name I'm blanking on at the moment, Lauren, die of old age. So there's no effing stakes to any of these movies.
Yep.
So what the hell are we doing here?
Yep.
How do you have a horror franchise where everyone lives?
Right.
Yeah, and I just lost interest. Like, the first one was so creepy, and then everyone after that was like, whatever, he's gonna make it. Oh, look, he made it. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just don't. And now you're gonna have one where not only you're basing it off of these two characters who we know die of old age, but also it's gonna be their first story. So we already know that they both survived perfectly well because they're in 5 other movies.
Right.
What?
And didn't the last movie pretty much touch on what the first one was going to be about?
Right. I just oh
When I saw Last Rites, I was so excited because I saw the word last in it. It just got my hopes up. I'm not a huge haunted house person anyway, because there's only so much you can do with it. I mean, yeah, that's rich coming from a guy that's huge about zombies. 'Cause,
zombies,
like,
yeah.
what are you going to do with that? Haunted house, it creak, creak, bang. What's that? Ooh, the end. That's pretty much all that you're going to get. Some people might die. It might be a poltergeist throwing things. It just might be, it's a shadow off in the corner. There's not much you can do with it. And when you've had as many conjurings, yeah, you're going through the person's real life and it's loosely based on their life. So you can pretty much just come up with any story and just say, all right, we'll slap it to these people and say it happened to them.
Yeah.
There's nothing credible about it. There's nothing really different about it. There's nothing that is going to stand out, because you're going to see a haunted house and you're going to see shadows run by and you're going to see spooky supernatural stuff, and then they're going to make it out in the end. They need to know when to pull the plug.
So okay, for the Conjuring franchise, yes. For haunted house movies in general, I prefer those over a lot of other horrors, because most of the scary crap is going on inside your head, which is the same thing as if the lights went out right now and I'm here. Like, there's nothing in my house that's going to hurt me, but that doesn't mean my brain won't think there is.
Right.
So like, I like that more so than just like, here, let's watch somebody get cut up with a chainsaw for 5 minutes, or whatever the Saw movies are doing these days. I just prefer the terror to be in my head as opposed to just here's gore on screen.
Right.
But regardless, like, I'm not looking to change your mind. That's my own personal take on it.
No,
but basing it on a
understand you.
true story where we know they live, why bother?
Yeah. See, with me, I don't let my mind really doesn't run away with me. I'm one of those type of people that if I hear something, see a door slam, I'm like, door slammed. My mind doesn't run away with me. When it comes to chainsaw wielding maniacs and that's right there, my mind doesn't have to run away. I see it and I run from it. So
Well,
that's
hobble.
kind of, yeah, I'm one of those idiots that's like, well, that's odd. But yeah,
you're the person we yell at in horror movies where you go and check it out.
I am the typical white guy that says, what's that sound? I just am.
Has 9 years worth of supplies in a bunker, goes and checks out the creepy noise outside. Like, I don't think these things work out well together.
Dude, I'm the guy that stands in his front yard staring up at the sky when there's a tornado. I don't have survival skill at all. I just don't have self-preservation. I'm like, would you look at that?
Yeah.
That's really about it. But yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I mean, I like The Boy. I love stuff like that. I love the other one.
Boy?
Yeah, it's the kind of dummy. It's got Lauren Cohen, I think, in it. It's pretty good. It's like a doll possession type movie, and a really slow burn. And then there's another one with a house that's got the Mother of Dragons. It's got Amelia Clark in it, and I can't remember what that was, but that was more of a gothic Victorian horror. I mean, I don't mind those kind of haunted house. Now, when you have movies like The Haunted or something that was in the early 2000s, and it was the research team, paranormal research team, that with Catherine Zeta-Jones goes into the house and they're researching. Not a big fan. Just never really have been.
I like the more classic ghost stories. Like the first time I watched the others, I really enjoyed it. The second time when you know what's happening, you're like, okay, it's fine.
Right.
But like the first time, that one's solid. Or like Sixth Sense, like stuff like that.
Right.
It's like it's more creepy than flat out scary.
Right.
But that being said, I could not tell you how little interest I have in this one, and I'm probably going to have to watch it for our rating just so we can have the franchise be completed, which is unfortunate, because that's also going to have to happen with
Evil Dead
at some point, and I'm really not looking forward to that one.
And The Highlander.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh no.
See, that one kind of breaks our rule where it's not necessarily the same franchise, even though it's the same thing. Like it's a little bit weird. We'll get into that later.
All right, get on the technicality.
I am going to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if it's Henry Cavill doing Highlander, because the one thing we always said, the idea of Highlander is really cool.
Yeah.
Execution's a little bit different.
Yep.
I want to go to chat for half a second. I'm going to say that the Prime Simpsons is better than anything Futurama did, but Futurama as a whole is significantly better than Simpsons as a whole. So it kind of goes one way or the other.
Yep, I'll completely agree with you there.
Next one on the list is Blair Witch. So Blair Witch 1 was a phenomenon when it came out. Not only because of the movie, but because of the hype around the movie. This is like not pre-internet, but kind of pre-internet being a real thing.
Yeah.
So like they went on talk shows. Like the cast did not do any hype for this movie whatsoever.
Right.
Because the whole point was they died. You felt kind of dirty watching this movie for the first time.
Yeah, you thought it was a snuff film.
Because you kind of thought it was kind of real or had like some basis in reality. And then they started putting leaks out like, no, the cast is alive, but this is how we made it.
Right.
And like I remember hearing an interview where they were talking like they had cameras and they knew they had to have the cameras on, but they would get notes in the morning and be like, you're supposed to do this.
Yep.
And that's how they filmed it, kind of this like guerrilla style. I was like, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Now they've kind of come up with everything, and obviously in the day of the internet, like none of that's going to hit the same way. But in 1999, when I saw this, I didn't believe that it was a snuff film, but the guerrilla style filmmaking of it is what sold me on it. And then the movie was actually pretty damn watchable.
Oh yeah.
And then they made a sequel.
Yeah, the Book of Shadows, and this is one of the ones where I actually looked at it and said, they made a Blair Witch 3 because I never saw Blair Witch 3. I stopped at 2 because Book of Shadows was so horrendous. I didn't want anything to do with it. I mean, the Blair Witch game was on sale a couple of months ago on Steam, and I waited until the very, very last moment to actually buy it because I didn't want to be involved with Blair Witch anymore. But I got it anyhow.
Well, see, they got your money. It doesn't really matter when you buy it. Dingo, what we're talking about is all the franchises that have kind of died over the years that are getting revived in 2027. So we're just going through the list of all the sequels to long dead franchises that mostly should have stayed dead.
Yes.
And I think we've touched on everything but Voltron.
Yeah. I think
so.
Voltron is about the last one.
Now, I don't know anything about this Voltron remake that you put on the list, but I will say didn't watch a lot of Voltron in the 80s. It might have been late 70s even. It was just before my time, I want to say.
Right.
But the Netflix show that was on a couple of years ago, I want to say done by the same guys who did Avatar, although don't kill me if I'm wrong on that show was great. I watched that one with my kids. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was on Netflix. Last I knew it was on Nicktoons for a while. When it was playing, when I got wind of it, was about the time Power Rangers came out. So I saw Power Rangers first, and then I saw Voltron, and I was like, wait a second, this is just a not as cool Power Rangers. That kind of I get it. Well, I mean, it was way before that. The original was much older than Power Rangers. Right, but I was seeing it in syndication.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, technically they were first.
Right. Yeah,
but also they weren't doing shitty. I mean, okay, the one you saw, I'm not going to say to it. The Netflix version, the 20-teens version, pretty good storylines, pretty decently acted, really cool animation, although they do reuse a lot of the same animation when he's building himself up, which is a little unfortunate to see for the 48th time. But it's solid. It's a good show. It's one you could easily watch with your kids. If you enjoyed Avatar: The Last Airbender and like that's kind of storytelling where it's building towards something over the course of the season, it does a really good job of that. Not as good as Avatar, but similar.
Right.
And I thoroughly enjoy it. My kid's actually talking about going back through it again. I'm like, ooh, I could be convinced. But I don't know anything about this new 2027 version. Is it a movie? Is it a cartoon?
It's supposed to be live action.
Live action movie?
Yep.
So that's one of those things where I'm curious to see it if it follows the lore, but I'm terrified to see it because they're most likely going to do here's 5 teenagers who are having a hard time in high school in 2026. And, oh, look, they just happen to fight. Like, no. These kids are supposed to be flying through space. Like, Voltron doesn't really take place on Earth at all.
Right,
Uh,
right. And they're all like
ooh,
lions, aren't they? It's not like the Zords like Power Rangers. They're all like a yellow lion and a red
yeah,
lion, and yeah, pretty much.
it's five kids piloting five lions that become one giant lion
Right.
man. Sounds really stupid, but
Um,
I promise you it's cool.
I hope they learn from the last Power Rangers movie because that just was not great.
The last Power Rangers movie is the last movie that I watched before I became a father.
Oh, really?
We stayed up way too late watching that because my wife was like getting ready to be induced and whatnot, and um finally went to bed. And then she's like 5 minutes later, she's like, no, we need to leave. I'm like, oh, all right.
Wow, it
I
was
actually
so.
might have that wrong. That might be Charlie. That might not be the twins. That might have been Charlie because
I was
the twins was prepared and planned for. No, that was Charlie. My apologies.
all
It
right.
was the last one I watched before Charlie was born.
But still, she said that your taste in movies are so bad. I need to get out of here. That's,
I didn't choose it. I don't think. I don't remember. Well, maybe we did, but in like a scrolling through Netflix for half an hour and finally going like, "F it, let's put this on." It's midnight. Like it was a
yeah.
late night. She couldn't sleep, and I was on night shift mode or something. I don't remember exactly, but I remember being exhausted at the hospital because we stayed up and watched Power Rangers. It's like this is a terrible decision.
Yeah, so it takes on a completely different. You just start yawning as soon as you even talk about Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. It was a Netflix watch for me too, and it's one of those films where I wish I'd picked something else.
Yeah, 2017. It's got to have been Charlie. There's no way
Yeah.
there's twins.
I mean, I can't say it was bad, but it wasn't great.
It was watchable bad.
Yeah, it was watchable bad.
It kind of reminded me, in the back of my mind, it reminded me of a really poorly done Chronicle. Is that the right word? What's the found footage movie with Michael B. Jordan and Dane DeHaan where he like they gain
Cloverfield?
superpowers?
Oh,
No, not Cloverfield.
no. The
It's
yeah,
Chronicle.
I think
isn't
it's
it?
Chronicle. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
Chronicle.
movie's fantastic.
I forgot.
This felt
that
like a
Michael B.
bad
Jordan
version
was
of
in it.
that.
Yeah, it kind of really did. And I
Like the same kind
remember
of thing, like, oh,
liking
we
it.
found powers in a cave or whatever the nonsense.
That's why I'm surprised I don't remember Michael B. Jordan because I remember liking Chronicle. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the one thing where the guy kind of starts going bad, right? Like the one
Yeah.
good. Yeah. I
So
don't remember Michael B. Jordan in it.
I want to say Dane DeHaan is the first one to get powers,
Uh-huh.
and then he shows the stone or whatever it is to his two friends, and one friend is Michael B. Jordan, and one friend is somebody else. And Michael B. Jordan is the one that he kills with an airplane or something. I don't know. It's been a minute since I saw it, but
Okay.
it's
Yeah, I'm think I'm
solid
going to
film.
have to revisit that. I think I remember enjoying it so much. I'm going to need to revisit it. I hope
Give me a
it's to
sorry.
the age. No, you're good. I just
Give me
hope
a true Cloverfield sequel. God damn it, J.J. Abrams. I liked the first Cloverfield well enough. I've never seen the other ones. I've heard the one in the
Yeah.
basement's actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
Paradox is. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was 100% John Goodman that I enjoyed about it. I loved his performance in the Cloverfield 10 something Cloverfield Lane.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, and Cloverfield Paradox, I just didn't. I mean, they explained it, but they did such a horrible job explaining it. I still was lost.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't see the point.
Dan, are you excited that Michael Bay is coming back for Transformers 8? No. I think the best I think the three best Transformers movies are not Michael Bay ones. That'd be Bumblebee 1 and 86. The first Transformers that Michael Bay did was okay, but I watched it again recently and it was kind of like, eh. Sorry, I liked it at the time because obviously in 2006 or 2007 or whenever it came out, there was nothing like it. Like it was kind of unique and amazing, and it was just great to have Transformers up there. But it was always one of those things where I'm just like, why can't they just look like they're supposed to? Why do they have to look stupid? And I just never really got over that.
I watched the first Transformers in a drive-in, and
Okay.
we had just had a terrible flood. I mean, really bad flood, and it was right about the time where the speakers didn't work anymore because you had the speakers you put on the
Okay.
car, so they
Oh,
switched
wow, okay.
everything around to FM.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
and
the only.
one-
I've only been to ones like that where it's FM.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
we had the old speaker. It was right up the road. It was one of the last drive-ins. I mean, I went to the drive-in, that same drive-in when I was a little kid. But because of the flood and because of everything, the screen was kind of warped and just not great. And I had a very hard time seeing the Transformers. It was all like one big blob to me, and I couldn't. There was nothing intricate. Couldn't make out what it was, and because of that, I really didn't get into the Transformers franchise.
You can watch it in 4K, and most of them look like giant blobs, and you can't tell what's going on.
Yeah,
that's my issue with the Transformers movies. Windstorm, how dare you trash Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf? That's my exact problem. Is when you think of a Transformers movie, you think of the humans and not the giant robots.
Yeah.
They're the Transformers. They're real characters. They've got personalities and story arcs. Follow them. Stop following the effing military around. Fuck Michael Bay Transformer movies.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, it bothers me. And I'm a huge Transformers fan, but that's what I want. I want a story about the Transformers and them figuring out their own problems instead of them going to the humans being like, "What should we do, small person?"
Yeah.
Okay, we'll follow you. Like, you're just a glorified vehicle at that point. You're not a real being.
Yeah, I know what you.
I can rant a lot, by the way. We'll leave this one alone.
Can't remember which movie it was, but whenever the female head of the government, can't remember. Was it the one that had Leonard Nimoy in it? Dark Side of the Moon or whatever it was. When she came up and she was this big, and Optimus Prime was huge, and she was, "Let me tell you a thing or two, mister. You're not going to do this." And the Optimus Prime was like, "Yes, ma'am." I didn't get that. I didn't that doesn't make sense to me.
Skinny Matthew, speaking of Transformers, they're re-releasing it in September, I believe it is. Yes, me and my friend Wiley are definitely going to go check that one out. I assuming it's anywhere near me, there's no chance I'm missing out on that. Very excited for it. Dingo, of course, they killed Jazz, I think, like halfway through the first movie, so that sucks for you. I apologize. Wasn't Spike and Father in the OG Transformers flick? Yes, they're allowed to have humans. But if your main characters are all humans, that's a problem. Even Bumblebee, which I enjoy, is very much a boy and his dog type story. But at least the dog is a fucking character in it. I liked it. You know what I mean? Like when the entire story arc for every main character is human and the robots are just window dressing, that's not a Transformers movie for me.
Yeah. I mean, it should be almost like a buddy cop movie to where there's two stars, not a star and an off-put sidekick type thing, and that's almost what the Transformers were to me. They really were just window dressing. You saw what was going on, and the danger was the Decepticons, and the way that they won were the Autobots, and it was 100% about the human, so just not a big fan. Never really was with Transformers. I like Bumblebee a lot.
Green Tuckian has asked at least twice now, have either of us seen
End of Oak Street?
The End of Oak Street.
It's
one that I'm curious for, but I have not seen it yet.
I haven't. On you. Oh no, you're good. I'm sorry. I have not. I need to watch it tomorrow or this weekend. I just haven't. I'm having a very hard time from 8 to 10 hours on Twitch every night, and then getting what I need to get done during the days and having extra stuff. So I'm my YouTube reviews are kind of suffering for it.
That's fair. Is it you want to watch it for a review, or do you have any actual interest in the movie for yourself?
Review, 100% review.
Okay.
I think it would be fun, but I think I would have just as much fun watching it on a streaming service at home. That's where I could just kick my shoes off, turn the lights down, instead of going and having to deal with people in a theater. If it wasn't for the reviews, I wouldn't do that.
That's fair. I never even saw the start of Oak Street, but so apparently there's a good chance we're going to be going to the drive-in this weekend to see Spider-Man again. My family hasn't seen it, only I have. If The End of Oak Street happened to be paired with that movie, that would be phenomenal. I doubt it will be. But that's probably the only way that I'm going to see it anytime soon. I'm interested in it. I like the concept of it, at least what I've seen. I still haven't seen a full trailer for it, but I like the concept of it, and I will watch Anne Hathaway do damn near anything, so I'm kind of in. But I'm not like running to the theater to see it, even for a review. It's just one of those like, yeah, I'd like to see it. I probably will review it if I do see it, but I'm not like dying for it. I don't think anybody's dying for it.
I think it will be enjoyable. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the concept. It's something new to me. I mean, kind of like a Land of the Lost type thing, but an entire suburb city block. you know, and a whole bunch of different people. That's what I gather from it. And Ewan McGregor, very good actor, and Hathaway.
I keep forgetting
very
he's
good
in it.
actor.
I like him.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, I think it's going to be good. It looks like the visual effects, the graphics are going to be good. I have nothing against the movie. It's just not something that I would just run out, just dying, grabbing my tickets, pre-ordering them. It's just not.
Totally fair. Green Duncan says he thinks he's the only person that walked out of the theater not enjoying it. He's just curious about other people's opinions. It sounds like you will
Really?
hopefully get Bubba Hoteps by the end of the weekend. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
And I'll tell you about it. Green and I message each other. He's like, "Hey, did you do a review?" Yep, there you go. You know, what do you think of it? And I'm like, well, you know, take her to leave it, stuff like that. So I'll message you and let you know right before I put the review out what I thought about it.
Portland RoboCop sent a link. I just checked it out. It's Bart Simpson's writing on a school board. I will not wait 20 years to make another movie, over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's
sorry. What was I gonna? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I really wasn't saying much. I was just filling in awkward pauses. The Simpsons, I kind of spoke all I could speak on.
Okay. Green Tucket, sorry, Skinny Matthews saying the streets are saying the new Doomsday trailer is hitting tomorrow. I haven't heard that, but I've also not really been paying attention or listening. If it'll actually tell us anything that's happening in the movie as opposed to just showing us cameos, I'd be very interested.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be very interested regardless. Don't get me wrong, but I would hope that it will give us a bit of anything other than just look at all the fancy people.
Knowing you, I already know the answer to this question, but you didn't read the leak script that's been online for a few months, did you? Okay.
Not even close. I would not want to do that to myself.
Right. Yeah. Just by you saying that you wish you had, you know, the trailer will give more of a what's going on thing, I could kind of tell. And you being you, I know you don't want to spoil anything going into it, you know, and just have it ruined.
So I'm of two minds, because as a person who does trailer reactions, that'll be a big trailer reaction, right? So I'd like to watch it and do that. As somebody who wants to see the movie, I already know I'm going to go see it. I don't need another trailer to show me anything. So I'm kind of with Portland RoboCop on that, where he's like, I don't want to see another trailer. I want them to be surprised. I agree, but I also decided this lifestyle for myself. So here we are. That being said, we've talked about all the movies on our list, and it's coming up on midnight. Anything else to do before we say goodnight?
Nope.
Or are you streaming after this?
I am not. I'm taking the night off for the first time in over 2 weeks, and I'm going to get some sleep because I had a long day.
Good for you.
And I will hop on tomorrow to finish The Walking Dead, that final episode in the first season of it. Very
nice. I hope you can get sleep. I know you have some back issues, but I hope you can get a good night's sleep after as many nights as you have. Tomorrow morning, I think Hillary is still in the chat. I'm not 100% sure. Theoretically, we're going to be playing some Gears of War 5. We're working through the campaign. We've been doing that most of the days this week. Been having a really good time with that. So if you want to hang out with us while we do that, make sure you hit the follow button while you're here. Can somebody please shout my man Bubba out? He's normally live while we record these, but he's took the night off just to hang out with me. I appreciated him immensely. And go follow his YouTube channel as well, where he does a lot of movie reviews and movie talk and fun stuff like that over there. So if you want to hang out with me, hit the follow button. If you want to hang out with Bubba, somebody please shout this guy out. I'm awful at this stuff.
Well, I appreciate you greatly. But everybody remember to go back and look at the R ratings, because now it is our job to stick it to YouTube and get these guys monetized before they come in and screw all of the new content creators. They need a couple of thousand hours, and it's our job to get it for them.
Yes, but Dingo, tomorrow morning, I work the afternoon shift, so I have like 2 hours in the morning that I can do some stuff. So we've been hanging out with Hillary, just kind of getting like hour and a half in here and there, just trying to get through the campaign. We are very quickly coming up on as far in the campaign as I've ever been. I got stuck on it back when it first came out, and I didn't have anybody to play with, unfortunately. So I'm glad to have people to play with. Bubba, are you going to be around Saturday morning potentially if we do some Horde, or you got other plans?
No, I should be. I don't think I have anything going on Saturday mornings. Yeah. I mean, it should. I'm up for it if I'm here.
Very nice. Sounds like Brian is hoping to make it. I know Hillary can't, unfortunately, but we got some people in the audience who love the game as well. So hopefully we can get a little squad going. All right, my lovelies. Let's see who we can raid out to, since Bubba's not going to be sticking around. And I got to get to bed at some point. Okay, there's only one person I'm following, and I raid out to him fairly often. Let's see if we can find somebody new.
I'm starting to have that problem too. The same.
Well, it's nice to raid out to new people because like that's how you sometimes make new friends, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, absolutely true.
Episode 109 of the Without Context show. What's similar size? How many people they got watching? 11 viewers. Sure, they look English.
Yeah, let's raid out to them.
All right, guys.
I'm with you. Same mentality. I'll sleep when my body's no longer functional. It's just I'm hitting that mark here pretty soon.
Mongolia has to go. His damn wiener chat is listening. I don't even know what that means. I can sleep when my body's no longer functional. That's kind of where Bubba is now.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. You guys have a great night. Go give these guys some love. I don't know anything about them, but they're making a show. Bye, everybody.
All right. You guys have a great night.